All right, fam. Good morning. How you guys doing? Let me get this up and running. Hope you guys are doing well. I know I slept in a little bit. I did not want to. It was a nightmare trying to wake up. My little girl, Abby, she gets up at like 4, right? 5 o'clock. She had trouble sleeping last night again, So therefore, I do apologize, man. I got onto a really good schedule there. Was getting up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and rocking and rolling. And it just, could be it's the end of the week, so she wants to eat like 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock, and so I need to give her try to leave her enough food, by because she likes to have a little bit of wet food during the morning. So what's up, guys? Welcome. I'm Justin. Thanks for joining us. This is the Ivy League live stream. We're gonna go over some of the movers this morning. We're gonna go over whatever tickers you have. Good morning, Ray. I have a list here of a lot of names ready to go. We're gonna knock it out. All right. I just seen and I just forgot. There was. I know TSM was. There was a damn name that I can't remember that I wanted to look at, and now I forgot. That sucks. I didn't write it down because I was trying to pull the stream up. It is what it is. So we're all bulled up. Markets are going to all-time highs. I woke up this morning just like, how did I not take that S&P long? I called it out. This was a beautiful, like, if you guys have trouble trading, try to do this. All right. This is kind of like, especially if you use indicators. See, it actually all depends. All right. If you're trading a stock that has news, right? If the news comes out pre-market, it's a little bit different, right? Because this all plays into VWAP. It all plays into your 9 EMA. Because once you add more time, it's going to adjust and account for more candles that it puts in. So remember that. Right at the end of right at the lunchtime session, guys, look at that test. We talked about it on the video last night. And it pulled right in, and I seen it. It looks even better on the 15 minute. It looked so good. It looked so good, and I just so we're here to fix it. We're not gonna do that today. All right, look at that level, just beautiful. 472.50. Candle got a lot smaller, right? So that you see something like that, and me personally, like, I need that. All right, I need that. That's a long. That's screaming along. And you look how far below VWAP you are. On top of that, you're probably about 2 standard deviations below VWAP. All right, let's go in some of the tickers that I got for you. We're going to knock it out. The markets are ripping all-time highs, and I think my little girl's trying to come in. Yep, she's yelling at me already. Already. Give me 1 second. This is what I deal with. She's even worse during the night and in the morning, guys. So, um, let's listen, guys. Let's do it. Let's get the likes. Let's get the subs. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. You guys know the deal. If you have any friends, family, relative, whatever, send them over. Let's get right into it. What are we going to look for today? I'm going to look for a pullback to yesterday's close. All right. I don't think we have anything crazy today. So my focus is not really going to be on the indexes. I'm only going to watch the indexes just to see what they have going on. We do have consumer sentiment. I don't think it's going to move the markets that much, personally. All right. I just think you're going to get a little bit of volatility. You have the interest rate decision here. Let's see what happened there. This could have also played a part in the rally. Was last night's unchanged balance of trade. Where is it? BOJ interest rate decision. Yeah, unchanged. Okay. That's good. That is good because they're talking about, hey, they may be on the verge of changing that, guys. That's going to switch things up. I'm telling you, I think Japan is the outlier, the black swan. I think it's the outlier is the black swan. Bank of Canada remains unchanged. Nope, never mind. That's next week. That's next week. All right, 10 o'clock. So if you're watching the markets, just know at 10 o'clock, Michigan consumer sentiment, existing home sales, 5-year inflation expectations, consumer expectations, current conditions, inflation expectations, preliminary, and then Fed bar at 1 o'clock. Baker Hughes rig count, right? Because we compare the Baker Hughes rig count to the bank term lending program. Come on, Jay. Come on, Jay. I know you like to be cool and all, but come on, bro. Come on, dude. Anyway, so that's that. All right, a little bit of shit. Oh man, my AirPods are out in the truck. Damn it. I gotta go get my AirPods in a few minutes. So let's go over some of these names that I'm watching. Let's go over real quick. We're gonna do it really quickly, guys. We're gonna hit the like button, and then we are gonna go to the movers. Wayfair. All right, you have a lot that are moving today. Shares of the digital home good retailer surged nearly 12%. 12%. There is probably, I would imagine, a decent short squeeze on this still. I think this stock is, I have to look. All right, I don't have time to look at it right this second, but I will go check it out, like if I go to trade this, which will be, it's W, that's right. So, man, look at the room that we have. This is a perfect risk to reward, guys. So I'm going to put Wayfair on the list. All right, I'm putting Wayfair on the list. You don't have to put it on the list. I'm putting it on the list. I want to see if we can get a pullback. 57 on Wayfair. All right. All right. What is this? All right. Jot it down, guys. I'm telling you, this, if we get, look at the volume that's came in already, guys. This thing's going, I feel like there's going to be some players here. Look at that pre-market volume. Holy shit. 57. 5711 Patek. What y'all know about the Pateks? The Pateks. I know somebody who thought it was a damn horse relating to horses. I said, nope, it's about that jewelry. Jewelry. All right, so, look at that. God, look at the room that we have to the upside, gang. Holy shiz. If this thing gets going, watch out. Watch out. I got to go to the daily chart because I know there's got to be a moving average. Dude, we have nothing stopping us to 62. There's nothing stopping you guys to $62. That's insane. That's insane. You have a gap here. All right, so this is actually going to probably be one of my top watches. I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can. Shares of the digital home goods retailer surged nearly 12% pre-market after the company said it would lay off 13% of its global workforce, including 19% of its corporate team, in an effort to cut out layers of management to reduce costs. This is Wayfair's third restructuring since 2022 and is expected to save the company about $280 million. Does $280 million equivalent to $68 on the high? We're about to find out. We finna find out. Holy cow. This is the real level. 75. 75 is your real level. 74-ish. Let's go to the daily chart. Guys, this is what I mean by risk to reward. So you guys know that just about all these names are already at highs. Look at that support zone from yesterday. Look at that. That's a beaut. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We break support. Bang. Double bottomed right on it. All right. we're above all our major moving averages on the daily, so that's not a concern. I'm telling you guys, if we're able to start getting this thing up, you might get 75. We may just get our wish. There's nothing in our way. This is why I like this setup a lot. All right, there is nothing in our way. There isn't. All right, nothing in our way. Look at this major level. Look at this major level. All right, look at that level right there. All right. So that level is going to be 78 area. All right. 78. Really, honestly, it's like 60. So 58 to 60. There's another support area right here at 62. So it's really like right here at 60. 57, 60. So let's cover it. Let's get into it. All right. So if we look, we're pulling back right now. Okay, we're pulling back. If we can hold 57 or 57, yes, 57.11 Patek. We talked about that. You have a support area right here, but I want to see it hold that. I want to see it hold 57.11. All right. You have lows here. 54.50 as well. All right, these are all areas of support. We start to hold, let's climb it higher. All right, we're going to look to climb higher and fill. You have a gap fill here at 59. 59.80. That's another one. This one might just get us a new watch. If this trade works out, we're getting a new watch. All right, I like all this, like just it's literally just lining itself up. So I feel pretty good about this. We got to execute though. That's the third part to this. We got to execute. All right, execute. Again, you have a gap fill here at 58. I just don't see how that's going to be resistance. All right, I'm going to put a dotted line here just so I know that that's the gap. All right. And right here at 56.8, that's the prior resistance. So, all right. I'm going to kick her ass. I love her so much, but Jesus Christ. She's being so ornery this morning. Alright, so Wayfair, you guys can know the deal. Pull back, 57 hold, 57.11 Patek, and then we're riding this thing up to hopefully that 68, possibly 80. We're not going to get there today, but if this thing gets going, I think she's got some room. There's a little bit, a minor level here. All right, where that gap is at, like, there's a double top at 59.65, 59.80. No, that's a watch. That's a reference number for a watch, not actual level. Come on. Yeah, 59.65. I don't really want to even worry about this level. I'm going to put a little star there, small or minor. All right. Let's see what we have here. So if we can pull back and hold, that's 7%. Where's the gap fill? That's 3%. And this would be 20%. All right. So that's that. All right, let's go into some of the names that we've been watching. Tesla, very easy, guys. I don't know how to get people to view this. I mean, it's okay. I don't know, like, if there's something that I'm doing wrong. All right, so if we hold yesterday's low at 209, Tesla 209, all right, if you start to see that, or this pre-market right here at like, yeah, 209.50 hold, then you got to watch for the upside to 212. 212 is going to be your breaking point, and we already sold off of it again this morning. All right, it rejected early this morning, yesterday afternoon, and it's still rejecting it. Now you're starting to see that it's putting in a pattern where it wants to go back and retest 212, 213 area. All right, it's going to be an area. I promise. I promise you. It's going to be about $1 wide. It's just not going to go right to $12, 12.10, and you know it's going to be 12 or two. Yeah, it's going to be 212 to 213. All right, so that's the area we're going to watch on Tesla. All right, if we watch Tesla, I think there's better opportunity out there, so I may not be focused too much on Tesla. So what we'll do is I'm just going to make this red just to just let myself know psychologically that to the left of me, if I can't see that far, you know, in the midst of trading, that you know, if we start breaking above that, I need to start looking for you know, yesterday's highs as a test. So, and even honestly, this little level at 218. See, it's all like this whole area really. It's a little tough because this thing rallies up here and then it gaps down and it holds yesterday. So you know the levels, right? 212 to 213 resistance. If it is able to start holding that level, you're going to look for 215, 216, okay? 218, 220, and that 220 is going to be, I think, Tuesday's closed. Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday's close. And then you go back into that 225 area, right? From last week's pivot high. All right, so that's Tesla, and already it's not holding. It looks like it's not going to hold here, if you guys see. You see how it broke it? Resistance, resistance. You have a nice bear flag there. That's a failed breakout, guys. That's a beautiful setup right there. That's a beautiful setup right there. It breaks out. It pulls back in there. Retest it. And you don't get the liquidity to go higher. You can see that they're packing onto this thing right now. You can see why. Because they're seeing that this is probably a failed breakout on Tesla. Meta. All right, we talked about Meta last night. We talked about a lot of these names last night. All right, pull back. You have a double top up here for the most part. Call it a triple, whatever you want to call it. It's a flat top resistance area. All right, flat top resistance area. And that's going to be from 377 on the highs of yesterday. 376.89 to be somewhat exact. All right, but I'm going to use the close from yesterday, which is 375.99, 376. So 376, 372.50. 376 and 372.50 are the two levels I'm watching. I would love to see us be able to get back under this level. Even this previous flat top resistance from yesterday and last, or you know, Tuesday and last Friday, okay? You can see she's struggling just a bit here on Meta. All right, so what I'm going to do is there's a double top here. Looks like it made that little bit resistance. So that's 380.50. Not sure if 380.50 has any resemblance. 382 is all, you know, previous highs. So, yeah, right here at 377, you guys can see 377. Look on the daily chart. It's this little, like, what I like to call these areas. You see this? Look at this, like, I like to look at it like this, right? I like to look at it like that. Like, it's like a safe zone that's going to hold the stock up, okay? All right? It's going to hold the stock up. It's like it has a gap down. However it is, it's the bottom end of a box, right? This bottom end of the box here. I know that line isn't really straight. Okay. So you can see there, that's like a little like, hey, it's going to hold me up. So if we pull into 371.50 on Meta, remember this, that's on the daily chart. You have another one right here. This is actually a gap fill from 364.50 down to 360, 359. All right. So you start getting down to that level, write it down. I'm trying to go quick. So I'm sorry, 365. All right, 365 to 359.50. You don't have to worry about that level right now. At the moment, you shouldn't have to worry about it. We already have all that stuff. We got to get out of the 370s first. Look for a pullback and hold that flat top resistance, okay? Let me make sure all my stuff is good. If you guys could do us a solid, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. We are desperately driving on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and we're just like, man, we can't get there fast enough. So, like button, thank you. If you guys have any questions, ask questions, guys. Tickers, anything you guys need, we're here to help. All right, so that was Meta. Just trying to get all of my stuff going here. Sorry about that. Netflix looks really nice as well. So, Wayfair, Meta. Now, look, guys, the reason I like Wayfair is the risk to reward. If we pull it into 57, they're on good news. They're trying to restructure some things. Not restructure, we're going out of business bankruptcy, but we're going to lay off to save some money, and we're going to start pushing this business forward. If this 57 holds, guys, you have nothing stopping you to get to 64. At the least, we're going to 68, 65. Like, this whole area, I want it. If we hold, guys, I'm telling you, 57, look at this. You have nothing stopping you on Wayfair. So watch, the spreads might be a little wide, but I'm going to play this. I promise. If we pull in here, I'm going to take this long, and I'm going to run with it. I'm going to watch it first. If it's a light volume pullback, I'm not just going to sit here and say that news can't just come out and it just flushes, right, on high volume. But, yeah, that's that. So that's Wayfair. What else do it? So we went through Meta. We talked about Apple yesterday. All right. We talked about Apple yesterday. Apple's went through the 50-day, and it's now pulling back. So Apple's already made its move. It needs a break, I feel like. Yesterday was a crazy move, so it's probably going to take a nap today. All right. Apple's probably going to take a nap today. We're going to look at Boeing. You can look at this previous double top from yesterday at 189. This could be a trade. All right. Could be a trade, right? 189 short. Back down to 187, 186. I'm sorry, 186. All right. We have these pivot highs here. Like, you start making this double top resistance, then you might have $1, $1.50 to the downside. You might. All right. I would not short it. I wouldn't go long or short this name. All right. I wouldn't go short or long. See, even 188, yesterday's close. You can see yesterday's close is trying to hold now. All right, trying to. But you turn this into resistance, you would look to get down to that pivot low. All right, and 186.50. Okay, 186.50 if you take the downside on Apple. That's what, or for me, I would look for. I won't be trading Apple, I don't think. Does it look like we have some nice volume pre-market today? It's not bad, I don't think. Just from looking here on TradingView. All right, just from looking on TradingView. All right, let's keep it moving. So, Boeing. All right, Boeing's up at the 200-day moving average. Boeing's up at the 200-day moving average. Look at that rejection. Look at that rejection. All right. And now you're turning that 210 into resistance. It looks like it's attempting to, and you have a nice bear flag. Look at that. We're getting a lot of these. Tesla, Boeing, They're letting you know what's up. Look at that. That's a beautiful bear flag, guys. And there's the rejection. That's the entry point right there. Literally, that's the entry point. It's setting up a bear flag, pulling back, retesting it at the area of resistance. All right, this is a minor level here. Why do I have that up? Because it is, let's see. Where are we at? We're trading at 210. We're all the way up at 210 now. So what I would do is go to the daily chart. Your major level, all right, is 198.50 area. Or I'm sorry, 198. All right, you have a minor level at 205 on the daily chart. All right, it's like this whole zone. It's actually ugly. All right, it's actually ugly. So we're at 210 right now. 210. So yeah, I would try to take this thing down to 198. Honestly, you don't really have much unless like this is all chop here, right? That's all chop, but you do have a zone here, and that's going to be 205. So I'll put this down. All right, I'm going to give it a dotted line because it's not that serious. And this was this was that previous support. No. Yeah, right here. This was the gap fill. That's why that's there. I know there's a reason why I have it there. Right here at that 210. That's your gap fill. Like, you pulled into it. It tried to hold it. Turned it into resistance. And this is where this downtrend started. All right? That's where that downtrend started right there. And it took you all the way down to 185. All right? So we're right there right now at 210. All right, 210. So write down Boeing 210. Possibly, what is that? What is this? 210. So we're under it, and look at the. So what I'm trying to get across is look at. Good morning, Animal. How you doing, buddy? I know it's in the afternoon for you. Yeah, 211 to get some buyers. I'm gonna chase 221. Yeah, I would let it show you that it's going to go higher. All right. We just looked at Tesla, and I'll go back to it, but it was already still looking bearish. So, all right, guys. So look what happened at 210 every single time when we turned it into resistance. Look at this. 210. You got a candle from 210 to 200. What happened here? Or right here, I'm sorry. You went from 210 to 185 in about in a month and a half. About a month. Not even. It's a half of a month. All right, in about 2 weeks you went there. So you can see at this level, it's giving you the move off of that level. So 210 is going to be really important in my eye. So we have a lot here. All right, Wayfair, Boeing, and I like Netflix for the long. I want to be able to mix in a long here. So I don't want to get too crazy because this is how you start missing trades. All right, look at this. Wham. Let's see, we're there again. Wham. See if we can get this set. And they're already taking this trade from you because they're turning 210 into resistance right now. So I want to see if we can take this down to 205. Look at that level of 205 that we just did off the daily chart. Look how well it lines up. All right, so you have previous support and resistance to 205. So we get short 210, 200-day moving average, taking profits all along the way. The first piece of profit, if we get it, 208, 206, final take profit into that 205 area. And if it gives us more and if we get some high volume, then we're just going to let it go. All right, 205 target. All right, 205 target. All right, and what is that again? That's 208. 208, 206. Peace. All right, we got that. All right, so let's go look at Tesla real quick since you brought it up. I don't know what to do with Tesla because I feel like. And we said it when it starts giving you a direction, it goes. Once it picks a direction, it goes. So, what's your risk to reward? That's what I'm going to ask you. Do you think today that after all she's done this whole month for 2.5 weeks now, all right, it's the 20th, 19th of January, and she's been doing nothing but selling off since the first of the year. She started on the 28th of December. Now, the reason I bring that up, Ann, is because to what point does it get a bit, like, you got to think, like, in order to take this, like, you're trying to take it to the upside, but it's not giving us too many signs, unless you see something I don't, that this thing is ready to turn around. I don't see it. You just got a MACD crossover to go negative. All right? You just got the MACD to go negative. You just got it 3 days ago. So this is prime for a consolidation and then a bounce higher, or, you know, we'll see. I think it's going to try to consolidate down here. I would be looking for a 205 gap fill, in my opinion. I'm not fighting the trend, okay, unless it shows you. If you like this thing long, then, and I talked about it this morning, then why did we reject this level here at 210? And then we turned it into resistance. We turned 210 into resistance. Look at this. You have a bear flag here. You see that? All right. Now, you do what you do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying be cautious. All right. If you hold here and you start working your way up, you start holding 210, 210.50, and you get above 212. This is your level. 212 to 213. You got to get above it. We're at 210. I'm not going to play Tesla and put on risk for $2, and I don't think other people are either. Unless you see something I don't. That's it. I'm giving you my thoughts on Tesla. That's all, right? Make your money, bro. You know what I mean? I want you to do what you do. I'm just giving you some extra insight as a trader, right? Because I care about, helping you guys make money, and I would hope you guys would, kind of be there for me too. If I'm having a bad day or some insight, if you guys see something I don't, you're like, whoa, dude, hold on. They got news or a downgrade. Is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? Right? Is $2 to this major level now worth it? 212 was a major support level. 212, 213. So, that's all I ask. That's all I'm asking. Is the juice worth the squeeze? We can look at Microsoft. She's been a monster. A monster. That's why I said don't fight the trend. Remember the video we did 3 days ago? Right? I said don't get cute. If it's going higher, you going higher with it. The buyers are stepping up. Oh, but it's done this. It's done that. It's still making highs. It's still making highs, guys. Still. This might be the end of it, but it might not. Because that's exactly why it might not be. Because we think that that's the end of the highs. We think that's the end of the lows for Tesla, but she's going to keep going, right? For that very reason, Oh, shit. 1 to 2. Yeah, if you're looking at it that way. So here's what I might not be saying, and it's okay. You know what I mean? It's fine. You got your, I'm not telling you what to do because I'm not. Tesla's ATR is around $4.50 to $6 on a low volatile day. So that's why I say is a few dollars worth it, right? That's telling you it may not move, because what happens is you might have to sit through a consolidation, right? You might. But, I'm going to wish you the best of luck if that's what you're trading. It'll probably work out. You're probably seeing something I don't. 211 and it gets buyers. Boom. It will clean up to 221. I hope it bounces, man. I hope we can get that reversal. It's very weak, right? I'm not going to fight the trend personally. What I would do is I get these pullbacks here. If the S&P's pulling back, Microsoft's pulling back, I'm going to go long Microsoft and go short Tesla, and I'm going to let them both work for me. And that way, if the market picks a direction, if the market sells off, I'm already short Tesla, and that should give it some extra boost to the downside, or upside. It's going to give Microsoft extra boost to the upside. Something to think about. What else do we have real quick before we open up, guys? We're opening up in 2 minutes, so that's probably about it right now. The iRobot deal and Amazon is getting shut down, kinda. I don't know why, dude. It's a freaking vacuum cleaner. Like, this BOJ shit is getting old. They're just not letting anything happen. So, Spirit Airlines, let's just have all these employees lose their jobs because we think ticket prices are going to go higher. How much higher? Come on, guys. This is why the Biden administration needs to go. Because they're going to let all these employees lose their jobs because ticket prices might go up $10, $15, $20 a piece. They might. They don't even know if they will. What are we doing here as people, letting these people in office? JetBlue is trying to save Spirit Airlines, trying to save people's jobs, and here's the Biden administration. We think it's going to make ticket prices higher. Bro, they're not the only two companies. They're not the only two companies. Like, why let it go under, like, I'm just ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. All right. Good luck today, guys. This is Amazon. It doesn't really have much for me. Short down to 152 if you like Amazon today. All right. Market's getting ready to open up. I want to look at Wayfair because this, I feel like, has a lot of room to go if she decides to. Look at it pulling into the level. All right. Good luck today, everybody. Let's make today a good day. Remember, 10 o'clock, we have consumer sentiment. So, be prepared. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. What do these spreads look like? That's what I want to know first. So we're turning that gap fill into resistance, but I want to see a support zone here. All right, here's your fibs. All right, so it just cracked the level. They're shorting it. It is a crappy company to an extent, but, man, it's got room to the upside. All right, there she goes, guys. She's cracking the level. Oh, look how volatile she is, guys. She is volatile. She's definitely going to move today. Look at the 100-day. Oh, we have the 100-day moving average there. I thought we didn't have that. Look at that. Oh, damn. So she's pulling into the 100-day moving average right now. I didn't see that. I thought it was. That's crazy. I didn't see it. They're talking about the deals now. All right, so Wayfair is under that level now of 57. It's got there's a short there from 57 to 54. Just got to let it break the 100-day moving average. All right, it's not time yet, I guess. It's not time. But I'm telling you, keep an eye on Wayfair because if she decides to go 80 to 128, dude, these spreads are insane. How did I know? How did I know? How did I know that these spreads were going to be like that? Let's go look at Netflix. Netflix is another one that I have on watch. All right. Netflix didn't hold. Holy shit. Netflix fell right up out of bed, guys. Oh my gosh, I don't like this. Wow, what happened there? It never held. That sucks. I mean, and that's okay, actually, because you know what? The support level is actually right here. But now that I'm looking at it, your support level is down here at 477.52. That's your support level. So, this could be a lower high right there. It could be right now trying to put in a lower high. But I would look for 478. So I do apologize about that. 478. Dude, Netflix is getting rocked. Is there news on Netflix? Costco. What? I have Netflix. I don't give a shit about Costco. Netflix set to see growth in Q4 2024 as industry raises prices, focuses on licenses. UBS says they do have earnings next week. All right, Microsoft or Netflix does. They do have earnings. Shit, man. You're underneath that level now. And look what happened there. Let's go to Boeing. I gotta hurry up because I do not want to miss some of these names. How is Tesla doing? To 1150. Come on, no. So Boeing, this is what I want to see on Tesla. What Boeing's doing? It's actually showing you divergence. So it looks like it's getting ready to try and turn itself to the upside. And if you get the Dow going up higher with the rest of the market, I would watch Boeing to see if it does start to try to attempt to go a little bit higher. All right, so the 100-day moving average is right there with the 200-day. Oh, my God. It is. Tesla's going. It is, you're right. Look at the volume too, baby. My boy. Get him in, Ma. Say, all right, bet. Doubt me, bro. Doubt me. See if my Tesla don't go to 220 by 11 o'clock. Damn right, bro. Good job. That's awesome. So you're testing yesterday's close. Really nice volume. And you know what? It's Friday. They could be closing out positions in case something happens over the weekend. You are on to something there. You are on to something. Let's see if we can get through this level. This is going to be your brick wall there. Brick wall. Let's see here. That's a lot of volume, man. That's awesome. That's what you want to see. It's exactly what you want to see. I need to stay focused. Which ones do I like? Which ones do I like? All right. Popping up into it. That's some nice volume there. You need to start getting an increase in volume there. Look how the volume's not moving. You want to see that increase on the break through it. There, see, come on, you need it. They're going heavy on the sell. They're still going heavy on the selling. Yeah, that 212 is rejecting right now. Doesn't mean that it can't hold. What I would look for is a pullback to see if you can start to hold pre-market highs right here at 211 area. All right. Did I get to the daily chart? All right, so that's Tesla. I want to watch Meta. Which one's? Yes, and Wayfair. I hate that Wayfair has such ridiculous options because it's going to make it tough to get out of that name. All right, Boeing's starting to break under that 210, guys. What's the Dow doing? What's the Dow doing? The Dow is selling off. That's going to help Boeing. I want to get in Boeing. I want to take Boeing. All right, so this is where it's going to happen. Come on, baby. Come on. Shit. I would like to. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting something because like I did last time, I want to wait for 213, guys. 213, 214, 15. Wait for it. Remember what happened to me last time on Boeing. I did not wait for that prior resistance. If I would have seen it start to fall out of bed here at 210, then I would have started to take it, because then I would expect that previous low to break at 209 on Boeing. So watch pre-market highs. All right, watch those areas. This is a low volume bounce to high a day. All right. What else do we have? Oh, TVS is another one. Travel something. Shit. What was it? The travel jaunt. Travelers. TRV. Yeah. Look at TRV going. It had a beautiful rally pre-market. I'm going to go to Wayfair, Boeing, keep it there. All right, so she is under this level. She is under this level of prior resistance now. So, what could we look for? It's pretty easy, guys. All right, pretty self-explanatory. We're going to look for, you have room all the way down to 54. And there she goes. There she goes. 54 would be the area that I would look for. Oh, look, pre-market pivot high. Keep an eye on those. All right, keep an eye on those. I wouldn't mind being able to get in something like this, but the spreads are so wide. It's what makes it not, like, it's not appealing. It's not appealing. But we could make some damn good money on this if we got a nice fill. SPY's pulling back. SPY is pulling back. What's everybody watching this morning? So we got Tesla on the list. What you guys got going on this morning? How are you feeling? You guys doing well? Come on. All right. So 100-day moving average, right into that support area. I'm going to keep my eye on it. Let's watch Boeing. Dude, I need this screen. I got to fix this screen to where it just zooms in like that. I'm going to give Boeing a minute. Let's see. Resistance. That's pivot low from yesterday. Pivot high from yesterday is 212. It's not in a hurry. There she goes. I think it's an antitrust issue for sure. That's so fucking ridiculous. Now, all these people are going to lose their jobs because someone has an opinion that ticket prices and antitrust issues. Possible. We can't prove it, but it's possible. Like, get the fudge out of here. I wonder how many people tried to go short there. It's an area of support. Alright, I need to find something with some volatility. AMD, guys. AMD is looking a little spicy here. AMD is looking a little spicy. Look at the volume coming in on AMD up here. Alright, look at that volume. Let's go back to Netflix and then Meta, NFLX. She's just falling out of fucking bed. That's okay. What's it down? 2% right now. Let me take it over to this chart. Let me pull this up. I want to see where we can take this to. I know I have a lot of lines on here, guys. I do apologize. Okay, there's the 50-day moving average. So we do kind of have room to the 50-day here. I hate that I'm doing the analysis in the middle of the trade, but so there's the 50-day. We have some support here. You have a little minor support here at 470, 474.50. Alright, you got some buyers there. So resistance, so it popped up, came in, break, retest. Alright, we could probably take this thing to 464. Alright, I'm going to nut up, and I'm going to take this short. See if it can give me a better entry. I know it's already taken the trade from us. Like, looking back, I'm like, shit. I wish it would have... I wish I would have recognized the direction that it's moving, right? Like you can see here, if we follow this, my cursor is going to the bottom right, and it looks like right here it's popping up, resistance, and then hello, 465, whatever, the 50-day. Yeah, 465. 465. 465. All right, so I'm going to look for 460. It's already below it. It's already broke it, but I was looking for 478 to 480. Okay, for resistance on Netflix. If we can get a pop. All right, I want to see if I can get short and Netflix up there. All right, I need to catch a bounce on Netflix. Like, I don't want to short this thing at lows. All right, it's important to not just throw your money at the wall. So I'll let that bounce up a bit. Let her do what she needs to do. And there you go, Animal, right there. You broke it. There you go. My dude, great job, man. That's a beautiful trade on Tesla, dude. Great job, bro. Nice job, dude. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. I like. Where's your target? You said 220? 221? I would look at, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Great job. Great job. That's all, like I say, if I were you, it's all we'd want to see is that break at 212. Where do we think we could take this? I mean, it's been popping to put in lower highs, you know? You can see it falling, and it looks like it's trying to consolidate, where it's trying to, like, scoop itself up a little bit. On these pullbacks, you know, 217.50, 218, right? Is resistance 219, 221 pivot high. It doesn't have a clear area in my eye. I mean, unless I go to an hourly chart, of course. So yeah, very nice support level. Well, really, you would think it's down here at 205. Hey, watch for this area here. That's previous support. Look at that. That's actually pretty nice. So if I pan this out, look how this comes in to play here. All right, so we could probably look for a I'm going to look for a 212 long. And like he said, 220, 221. I don't know, man. 215. Like, because you have this whole area here. You got to get above 213. It's got to get above it. So if we pull back in the 212 and we hold, knock it out for, then, me, I would look for the long and see if you can't get to 220. I love it, man. Great job. I love it. I'm so happy for you, bro. I love to see my people eat. I love to see you guys eat. Perfect, exactly. Everything about it was perfect. It's perfect to start to the day. He said night, actually. It is, I know. Coming live from the other side of the world. Coming to you live. All right. What we got going on here? So here's our pullback. Look for that 212 to try and hold. I know I don't even have to ask or even think. I know you took profits on that on that hold and it extending higher. Be careful right there. She's rejecting right at the area. The volume is trying to increase on the sell side. All right, it looks like they do not want this thing to go higher. I wonder what Elon Musk is doing right now. But again, it's Friday. You have a few good things going for you. Is like anybody that's been short from 240, 230, 220, it's Friday. They probably want to close their positions before the weekend. So very well, 214, get another test of that, 215 area. What is that? Wednesday's resistance level. All right, so they're talking about SMCI, guys. SMCI is ripping and roaring. Look at that volume. God damn, guys. Holy smokes. Look at that. And look at the volume on this thing. Holy shit. Does it have room or something? No, it's at all-time highs. SMCI, what a beast. That's institutional buying, and it's been institutional buying. There's something going on with this company that's major. Like, seriously. There's something major going on with this company that the analysts know that do work on these things. They know something about that name. All right, they know something. All right, they're going to be leading the pack or something because look at Meta. Meta broke through previous highs, guys. Meta broke through previous highs, and I think it just put in a new all-time high. No, 384. I got to get rid of all these lines. I got way too much going on, guys. I do apologize. I just want to put a box here so I know where these highs are. Come on, we got to get something going for us. All right, so there's a break back up and under it. It's trying. No, that could be a nice support level right there at 380. Is this thing going to blast off the new highs? What's the SPY doing? Let's see if we can't get something working for us here. All right, Tesla's pulling back. Or, I mean, Meta's pulling back. All right, so there is the pullback on Tesla. I'm trying to think of where, like 210.50, I guess. 210.50, like right around here. But you take that back. You take back the majority of that move from this morning. I think anybody that's long will probably give up just a bit. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just setting up my stuff. Alright, I want to watch 212, guys, to see if it turns this into resistance. Pay attention to your, if you want, you can pay attention to your 15, no. Undo. We got a lot. We got a lot of snow over the night. We got a lot of snow. Not sure if you guys did as well. All right, so there it goes. 212's breaking. It looks like it's the fifth on the 15-minute chart, guys. You guys can see here that you are breaking back below that pivot high. And I mean, you got room to like 209. Maybe you get to 205 today. You know, it's hard to say what you're going to get out of this name. Come on, I got to make something happen. So Wayfair is just selling off. Just selling off, selling off, selling off. As we said, Wayfair has room. So you're coming into the 50-day right now. It's coming into that 50-day moving average and 100-day moving average right now. It's got room down to 54. All right, 54. $1 on a $50 stock. I'm actually really curious to see whether or not Wayfair holds up in that range. I am. I'm really curious because if it holds, if it's able to hold, all right, it's either going to hold or not hold, and you still got room down to 52. The gap fill at 52. All right, and that's what you might get. All right, so there's a retest of the 100-day. That's a very low volume bounce. Let's look at this 3-minute. I just hate that the spreads are too crazy. They're so insane. Look at that. That's a perfect pullback to the 38.2 fib. What else do we have? We have the 9 EMA meeting right there as well to possibly act as support. Possibly. All right, look at that 3-minute. If you guys can see it. That's a technical setup where you have multiple areas of you have multiple indicators meeting up at one area to possibly provide a buying or selling opportunity. That, in my opinion, would be a buying opportunity. In my opinion. It's my opinion. All right, doesn't because Wayfair did not hold 57, that previous resistance here on the daily. All right here at 57, 57.11 Patek. It did not hold it. So anyone that wanted to go long this name because they seen what the potential was, they may rethink this. Okay, they may rethink it. And there it is. It's breaking now. So. And I was going to get short. It's whatever. Maybe I just... 53. Like, look how freaking... Like, they're getting filled on the bids. Or on the ass. The spreads are crazy. Like, on a 35-cent, 45-cent option for this week, it's horrible. Maybe let's go out to next week, but I still feel like they're going to be spready. 130, 140, that's not too bad. It was last fill at 122. 171 to 187. It's a little bit better, but not for me. I want something that's decent, that has some decent liquidity. So there was an idea there. Let's see what happens. I mean, what are you guys seeing? Is anybody seeing anything else that they're kind of looking to the long or short side? This could be a nice play on Meta here. This could be a nice play on Meta. It's still, though, I feel like Meta may need to pull back. As good as it looks, it feels like Meta needs to pull back. I wonder who's going to get sucked in the long here. It could be a long. It could. But the thing is even if Meta goes up, it could just fade up and not give you much of anything. Because it's gapped up. And I feel like if you were to pull back to like yesterday's highs, then you could get some buyers in a support level there under your belt to possibly go higher. But with it being where it is, I'm not sure if you're going to get it or not. You could, because you have some nice volume. You could work yourself up to the new highs, possibly. But I wouldn't trust it. I don't trust it. So looking to support the 50-day. Maybe Tesla is the play. Yeah, see it rejected 213. What I was trying to show you on the hourly chart was that it looked ripe for a resistance level there. All right, if you go back and look at the hourly chart, you know, because that was your support, right, for the past few days, right? Even here on the 15-minute, look, pivot low, all right, pivot low. You break, turn it into resistance. You got up into it, turned it into resistance. Let's see what happens here. See if she can hold. See if she can hold. I feel like every time I talk Tesla down, she goes up. So I'm going to keep talking that smack. I know you've already taken your profit. Come on. All right, so guys, 10 o'clock. Remember, we have consumer sentiment. I'm going to go back to Netflix. So AMD's not doing anything. NFLX. All right, so here it is. That was the level. What did we say? 480? 480, 482 resistance. Is it 479? What is she doing? What is Tesla doing? Or not Tesla, but Netflix. Is she trying to hold again? She might be trying to put in a wedge here. I don't know what the hell she's doing. I don't really like this. I guess this is a nice hold here of 480. Alright, I might look for a long here on Netflix to see if we can break out and go higher. Look at this whole area here, this pivot high at 480. See if 480 holds. If we can hold this level, I want to see if... I'm going to take profit up at 486. 490. Oh, look, she's pulling back now. So it's like this is resistance. It's tough. It's tough. I can look at this a few different ways. Let me actually do the work. Let me do the work. Yeah, I want to try to... I'm going to go for a long on Netflix, guys. We'll see if this works out. So, wait. Oh, God. Like, I see so many different things every time I look at it. Every time I look at this name, I see different stuff. Weird. This is so weird. What do you guys think? You guys mind if I ask you guys? Do you guys think that this could be a nice hold on Netflix? Or are you thinking 482, 480 short? What do you guys think? Alright, this level right here, previous resistance, support, it broke. Does it turn it back into resistance again? We go back to the hourly. It looks like there is an... I think we could get room up to 486. Look, it broke. It broke. That's a test of VWAP. She broke, baby. She broke. Is that a bear flag there? Is that a bear flag? Tesla's like this. A little hard. It's a little hard here. I feel like on like the hourly and these other charts that it's setting up for the long. Right? 15-minute is a bit overdone. Like resistance. Boom, boom, boom. I guess the real support level. It is up in uptrend, but it's like, what the hell? This sucks. I don't really like it. Like in my mind, I'm thinking short to 473. All right, I'm thinking 473, but I'm also thinking long to 486 and start trying to work back up to the resistance level for people to sell it. Because like, you know, just by looking at like my indicators, it looks like we're a bit oversold, which doesn't mean that we have to bounce. Maybe I just need to go back to Wayfair and get short again. That I don't want to play Wayfair because it's so spready, and I don't feel like on a Friday. I mean, I guess I could just short it. I could just short the stock outright. I was gonna say sell some spreads, but I don't want to worry about liquidity issues and not being able to get out. That's important to me. I like to know I'm okay that once I get in this thing that I can get out. So there are a few different ways I could go about it. Um, so what do you guys think? You guys think we're going to pull it back? Let's look and see what the SPY is doing. Is the SPY back at support? So the SPY is bouncing, and we're already back to that pre-market pivot low that we broke from. Or pivot, it's on the low, but it's like the pre-market support up at like 478. And Netflix is nowhere near pre-market. So I guess there's a bit of divergence there. Man, I need to take this long. I do. I feel like she's going to fall out of bed. So look, it's holding. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch 479.95 and see if she continues to hold. VWAP's acting as resistance. It's trying to not hold it right now. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. What are some of the names you guys are watching? Sorry, I had to use the restroom. I forgot about Boeing. Forgot about Boeing. Boeing. I gotta remember that's my issue. So, look, there goes the SPY. SPY is pulling back big time there. All right, so nice bull flag on Boeing, and look, you're turning that pre-market resistance, that pre-market into resistance, guys. Brian Belsky is on CNBC. I want you guys to also be aware that Boeing, it does look like it's trying to pull a Tesla and somewhat try to attempt to make a recovery. So 209.46 is what I'm watching. 205. The market's not too high. I mean, I get what Brian's saying. He's talking about what other people are saying about the markets, and he's right. None of that shit matters. So, I'm going to look at Boeing here. It doesn't have much volume. That's my only concern with it. If you decide to play Boeing, you got to watch what the Dow is doing. Look at it holding. She's trying to hold. I want to see what the SPY is going to do in the Dow so that I can kind of get a direction here. I know we're pulling back, but so the Dow 375. Man, that was a beautiful short on Tesla. I should have taken it, and I thought about it up there at that 213. All right, so what names are moving? All right, I got the SPY up. So I'm gonna cover the market real quick, like with the tech banks, all that fun stuff. So JP Morgan's back up into that area. That was a really nice short that we were able to put on. And now it's back up into that area, and it's looking like it's trying to reject one again. I'd give it a little room. All right, that's JP Morgan, AMD, TSM, NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks like it's going to pull back, but it's going higher. So we're not fighting the trend here. We could have a consolidation type of day here. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, so yesterday's high, we could see if yesterday's high ends up being resistance. Just an idea, all right? Just an idea. And look to see if we could take NVIDIA down to 567, right? Or even low a day. All right, or even low a day. NVIDIA is not stretched. I've been saying the same thing, Brian. 1 or 2. See if we get some profit taking. I want to see, like, here's what I like, guys. Like, I want something that has, like, continuation on it. Something that's going to be moving, like, has some trending, like, news or something. But, like, Wayfair, just, the spreads are way too wide. I don't like that. Oh, shit. Look, guys. Look. Wayfair held the 50-day, and it's breaking back up. Look. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's go, baby. Dude, if this thing can squeeze, it is on. If we could get a gamma squeeze on this name, I'm watching. I don't like the volume that was just put in there. Dude, it held the 50-day and the 38.2 fib, guys. This is why we don't want to take our eyes off of some of these names. But holy cow. So if you guys missed it, what I did was I was showing you guys a retracement. Alright? And that all these indicators lined up in roughly the same area. Alright, so even if I do it at the open. But from the high, like, they all were converging right here, right? The 9 EMA, 50-day moving average, and now we're above VWAP. Oh my gosh, dude, if this thing goes, if this thing can go, I don't know, guys, I don't know. There's some big sellers on this name. But if we could, the risk is worth the reward. I'm telling you right now. She's still expensive. They've kind of priced a move in. Look at the delta on these. Holy shit. Holy shit. This is going to be the tail of the tape right here. It's a previous hold. So this right here, this price action, guys, is key in telling me that, hey, we're still on to something here with this name. Because it's got a lot of room ahead of it. So for now, it's broke that level. It pulled back to it to retest it. They're trying to get this thing short and bring it down. They're trying. So you could play it both ways, right? You could maybe get some near-term puts, and you would know pretty quickly if it breaks, or, you know, if you would know pretty quickly, yeah, if you're wrong. And then maybe, like, this is what I'm thinking, like, get some puts for today, but get calls for next week, and kind of, like, try to play, like, have a position on if it does decide to break through. Because that 50-day holding, you see the reaction off of this 50-day, guys? It's telling you that shorts, any, like, type of recovery, they're covering. Look at that volume. Look at that volume. And it's holding at VWAP. They're gonna start getting nervous. They're gonna start sweating. They're gonna start sweating. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go Wayfair. Man, they're charging so much money. So if this thing does squeeze, it is, if you start to get a gamma squeeze here, it's you're paying up for it. 30 cents on a $50 stock, like, I mean, I get it. They don't want to sell the insurance in case they have to get called. They can get screwed. So it's got to be worth it for them to sell it. Sometimes you got to pay up. Getting ready to get a trade line VWAP cross. Remember what we said yesterday on how a stock reacts off of a level when it pulls into a level and you want to be long? You want to see that thing move off of it quick. And it's telling you, hey, you know. So, and you got that right there. I just don't see anything, guys, unfortunately. And it's okay. I don't see anything. Maybe it's me not being in the right place today, and maybe we need to give it some time. I mean, Wayfarer's got an opportunity. Let's go back and look at the Texas Instruments, NVIDIA, DraftKings was upgraded. I did see that. I did see that. All right, Microsoft's pulling into highs, previous highs. All right, let's see here. So that's Microsoft holding there. Netflix. All right, Wayfair. I also haven't looked to see what yields are doing this morning. If they're pulling back, yo, if Wayfair breaks back to this level, guys, it's on. It is on. I'm telling you right now. It's holding too, which is crazy. No, not WBA. Is that the No, that's Walgreens Boots Alliance. I wonder how many people think that they're in because the W is next to the. I don't know how I hit that. The W is next to the A. I wonder how many people were at Walgreens like, oh yeah, I'm on Boeing. Probably none, but still. All right, just nothing today, man. Nothing. Ain't nit or not a nothing. Ain't nit or not a nothing. Let's see here. What do I have written down? What are some of the other names that I've been watching? So we've been watching Apple, Tesla. Apple's still trying to go. TSLA. All right, Tesla. All right, let's see here. All right, Tesla. Look, guys, Tesla's cracking again. What a beautiful short, man. That could have been a really nice short and long, even if you took the long. We said 213, 212, 213. Look, right to a damn T, guys. To a T. Oh, good. I would hope that I would hope that there's still hope for that deal because, the DOJ pretty much, because they, as a person, feel like ticket prices could go up, right? Like, come on, all right. You're gonna have all these people lose their jobs. JetBlue is pretty much doing them a favor here. All right, SPY is. SPY pretty much double bottom right at that wick high from yesterday. 477. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's see if it can get going above it. What is this? Tesla's still just falling out of bed. Man, she's hurting. Tesla hurting. All right, we have Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, Meta. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Meta's still holding up here. This kind of reminds me of TSM. Remember I told you I wonder how many people are going to try to short this or grab puts and it's going to pull back. Let's let's see here. Sometimes you gotta do what you don't think you should do. Yeah, I think it's time for Meta to pull back. I may grab some next week puts on Meta. It doesn't have to pull back right now, but damn, she's holding. If we get a pop like anywhere out of this level, I do want to look at some next week puts on Meta, guys. I do want to look for that. This is a beautiful run. It's a 2-day rally, gap up, and now it's holding. I say that because I feel like, you know, there's two things going here actually, because like some of these indicators that I'm looking at and it's getting weak the longer it sits up here, and if they're getting weak and they're still up at that area, when they do come down to a price and you get buying off of that level, it could go higher. But a longer term, like a 2 hour, 1 hour, right? It's just way extended. It's really extended. So a pullback would be really nice. It would just be nice, that's all. Give us a pullback so we can take the short, use that money to buy the stock. It's how you increase your net worth. Keep putting that money to work. There's the break. There's the break. There's thy break. Fudge in Meta. And was he ready? Come on, Medi. Come on, Medi. Break a brick down, Medi. Come on, Medi. Break a brick down. Let's see what we got here. See what we can look. What can we look to get into here? I'd like to try and get a bounce. Give me a bounce. Give me a bounce. Let's do it. It's giving me the bounce right now. Giving me the bounce right now. Giving me the bounce right now. I'm a fucking nut. Don't be shy, guys. Communicate or participate in chat and let us know what are some things you guys are watching. I don't know why this is doing that. The live stream's like kind of. Break a break down. So 3-minute chart, man. This thing looks bullish as all hell, but if I go here, let me just make sure. Let me hurry up because it's going to make a move as soon as I'm not watching it. It's going to make that move. This thing's being tricky. That's for damn sure. All right, there we go. All right, bet. I see it. All right, I'm going to go take a short on Meta, guys. All right, I'm going to look to try and take Meta down to 376. All right, that's what I'm looking to do. 376 short. All right, I'm going to look at, could do the 380s. I don't like that. I'm going to do a couple weeklies. I'm going to go cheap here. 377 50s, all right? Can we get another little bounce higher, please? Nope. I'm going to just get it right now. All right, I am in, guys, all right? I am in Meta short. I am in Meta short. I'm going to give this a little bit. It is a weekly. Go with next week's. If you guys need some time, go next week's. It is strong, and I'm fighting the trend, but I still feel like the indicators are telling me that, you know. What was my price that I got in? Oh, shit. No, I'm going to try to toss out some limit orders here. Yeah, there was low volume there. There was low volume there. Doesn't feel like they want to sell. They want to sell this, but I still feel like, you know, we could get this thing working for us and get a pullback. This is a trade line VWAP cross. Looks like we'll see what happens. All right, we'll see what happens here. Please be careful out there. If you guys could, like the stream, comment, participate, all that fun stuff. What did I... See, as much as I want to set limit orders, like, I would like to see where we at? 37. Okay. And then we have that. All right. So we in here, baby. We in here. 377.50. The market has some volume to the upside too. I want to see what the SPY does here. It may go higher. The SPY may try to bounce. So the SPY may try to bounce here. She's above the trade line. We have Fed Bar at lunchtime as well, guys. And there's the pop. I guess I'm fighting the trend, but I'm okay with that. So it came down and it never hit that wick. All right, we're starting to get some follow through here. So we are in a play here. Take pieces off right there, baby. Bang, let's go. Come on, Mehdi. Come on, Mehdi. Let's go, Mehdi. Let's go. Man, we're not getting no damn volume on that. There was news on Meta, wasn't there? There was news on Meta, wasn't there? I took a piece off there on that break. All right, right here coming into this level of 380. Look at that, 46. Bang. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Beautiful trade. Beautiful trading. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice, guys. Very nice entry there, folks. Beautiful. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. All right. It hasn't even moved yet. Just so you all are aware, it has not even moved yet. But I'm watching this area here. All right, we had that nice wedge. It retested it. Let's see if we can get up to the 90 MA at 380 and look for that to be resistance at 380.63. Okay? Okay. That's what I'm looking for. Where are the likes at? I know y'all can do better than that. We out here making moves. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. I want to look real quick. See, it's coming up in here. You got to get those entries as it goes up into the level. Up into the level. It's 10:30. All right, it's 10:30. Japan becomes the 5th country to land on the moon with Jackson Slim. Blah 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 blah. I don't care, but that's awesome. That is awesome. I do actually care a little bit, but Slim spacecraft becomes the 5th country to land on the moon. Great job, Japan. Great job. Great job. Come on. To order. Okay, so this could go against. Come on, where the 5 things to know. So Apple's headset, right, is going to be competing with Meta's. So Meta is stocking up on Nvidia's powerful generative AI enabling computer chips, and what's likely to be a multi-billion-dollar effort. The chips called H100 graphics cards become in high demand. Generative AI has captivated corporate America in recent months. They cost an estimate $25,000-$30,000. According to analysis Raymond James, Meta wants them to power the company's future roadmap for AI as it pursues research into large language models. All right, so they're talking about Apple's headset. All right, they're talking about Apple's headset. Let's go, guys. You see that pop right into the 9 EMA? Come on, man. Let's go. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Let's go. Stack up these wins. If you've been struggling and it gives you that move, take it. We got off there. We got in around 30. I think I got in at like 37, 36 and was out at 46. 10 on 30 is how much? Think about that. 10 cents on 30 cents. What is that? Right? 15 is 50%, guys. Right? You buy 10 of those, $300, $370, 50%, bang. There's your buck. There's your $1.50, 200. I want the move though. I want to start getting the move. I want to start seeing the SPY. We're starting to get a little more volume in here on the SPY. All right, we're getting a little more volume in here. I want to start being able to get some momentum here. Look, we're pulling back and the freaking volume is drying up on it. I don't like that. That doesn't mean that it can't pop up out of nowhere. Guys, you got to take. There it is. There's a 46. Throw a 44, 45 limit order. 40 to something if you guys are in this trade. All right? Take a piece off. Get those wins in under your belt. You should see another 46 if you get it. See, it goes quick and you get those 46 extensions. That's why when we get those extensions, and we called this out, like we had 2 tries. This was my entry. All right. I'm going to take some off. I want to wait. I want to hold this. I got half the position off. I called that 9 EMA 1 minute out right there again for the second entry right here. I said, let's get up to that 380, 66, 68. All right, but we got in literally right here. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. Let's turn it into resistance. Viva la resistance. Fuck. Damn it. That would have been a really nice, again. That was the 377.50s. That was these 377.50s. All right. Make sure the stream is on live. Like, make sure that red bubble is all the way to the right. Okay. You got to take some off in front of this resistance level here just in case it pops. This could be a failed breakout. That's why it's important to take profit. Use the trade line, right? Use the trade line to enter and exit. Dude, what is going on? The volume, we're not getting big volume, and I want to see it, but I want to see the volume increase. Watch the SPY, watch the cues. Let's watch time and sales level 2. I know a lot of people don't, but once you learn to read it and you start seeing things, like, it helps give you confirmation if a level's going to hold or not hold. All right? It's really useful. Oh, shit. Like right now, you're probably going to get a bounce. And I want to see if I can re-enter this like up here. Just my opinion. I want to see if I can take this again at 381. I'm going to, like, even if I take this off right now, break even. I got half off profit. I want to look to re-enter this trade. We have, like, look at the volume. It starts breaking up. I'm going to take this off, guys. I wanted to hold this level. But I also wouldn't mind another pop back up to like try to get back in at a cheaper price. Because I still think longer term, all right, that we're going to pull this name back. I think Meta's going to pull back. All right, I'm looking for a pullback. Even if I can just get to like 376, like that's my target. All right, 376. This gap fill, yesterday's previous high. You know, again, things can stay oversold, right? That's what happens in a bull market. Things will remain oversold because everything's just going up and up and up and up and up and up, and you rarely get the pullbacks that you think you're looking for. So sorry to keep moving the charts. What's old Boeing doing? What's old Boeing doing? They're holding it up, man. Gotta take profits. Take a piece off. Because we can get the re-entry. I want to start seeing the SPY pull itself back. I want to start seeing some volume come in. I want the trend to present itself if it's going to give us a trend today. It's Friday. Like, you know, things may end up, you know, really slowing down at lunchtime. So I'm just trying to make whatever money I can. Right there, that's a nice increase, guys. That's a nice increase in volume. It's not that great, but it's still something. It's a sign of, you know, hope that it's going to be resistance. Come on, guys. Bang, right there. Let's go. Come on, man. Maybe we get a failed breakdown. Let me see. Let me do... I haven't traded Meta in a while. Meta can mess with you. That's why I'm still not ruling out a bounce higher where we can get in cheaper, and it does the move later on. Or it's just going to give a nice easy trade to the downside. It's going so slow that it's not really paying you, and that's why moves like this, like when we get in this thing and it gives me that move right here off of this candle to that, guys, there's fucking 46 cents from 37 entry, 36, 37 entry. I'll have to look to see what my entry was. I think it was 37. I think it was 37 cents. I'm almost positive. All right, now why do I think we could bounce higher? Because there's not much volume on these pullbacks at all. And I feel like if you get a bounce higher, anybody that did want to get short, they're going to have their opportunity to get in up at these previous resistance areas. They don't want to short on lows. They want to short on highs. See, here we go. All right, I'm talking you guys through this trade, exactly what I think it's going to do. All right, how many people do you know that do that for you? Nobody. Even paid groups don't do that. Here's what you hear. Ready? Here's what you hear and what you see. All right, guys, I'm looking at Meta. I want to see a breakthrough 380. I'm going to get short and take profits off at 376. 2 hours later. All right, guys, it looks like, you know, It's a light volume day. We may not have that much action. 2 hours later. All right, guys, we had a great week. I hope you guys have a great weekend. That's what it's like. Swear to God. You just sit in silence and talk to the chat that you paid $10,000, $5,000 for. And they suck. They don't talk you through trades. What did I say? I want to look to get a bounce. Take profits on these little pullbacks because we're not getting the volume. All right, we're not getting the volume. So we got that right there. Okay, we have that. We also have, I could always do it from here, right? I could go like that. No. Let me see here. Right here. That was the other one right there. That was the other one. And look, it's rejecting it. No, well. Look how much cheaper they are. This is what's going to help traders get excited about taking this to the downside if the SPY starts pulling back. If the SPY pulls back. All right. That's what I want to see. I want to see another test of like this area. Maybe put in another low. But if we cannot get above this 380.50 at this trade line there, you know, maybe you look long. There could be a long opportunity. Maybe we get another chance at highs. Maybe we get another chance at highs. All right, that's why we take that off when we get it. And again, I'm talking myself and us through the trade because it's important. Because if you're just sitting in silence and somebody gives you a trade alert, you're not going to know. You're not. It is just very helpful to talk through the trade with, you know, not just yourself. We're not getting the volume. It's okay. The trend is to the upside. You know, the selling is up here, not here just yet. Just yet. That was a low volume bounce. Things might try to change. It could just sit up here. It's Friday. We have all these things that could happen. That's a nice test of that area. Let's draw a trend line here. Let's see what we have here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Tell me that doesn't line up pretty damn well. Holy smokes. Look at that. That's a beaut. Look at it just pivot, that line there. And it closes below it the whole time. And now it's testing it. You're getting an increase on the sell side now. That whole pullback, you got to increase on the sell side. But now I'm kind of itching for a long. I'm kind of itching for a long now. See if we can't get up to previous highs. Is this the area? Is this the area right here where traders put it on? We got more to the sell side than anything. There was a little nibbler. A couple little nibblers right there on the downtrend. Real quick, I'm going to look at Wayfair because that's the big hitter of the day. It rejected. Okay. It did reject. Okay, good to know. She rejected. All right. She rejected. Oh, that's everybody saying that. I want to see if we can't break out here. Look at the volume. The volume is not increasing. MACD going negative. I think we could get a small low volume bounce. That would really help if we did. If we could just get a bounce, that would be awesome. We get a bounce to like right up in this area. 381.50-ish. I'd like that. All right, so the SPY's bouncing. 385. I don't think 385 is doable. I don't think 385 is doable. It's already gapped up a few. Let's scan the markets real quick. If you guys could do me a solid, hit the like button. Let us know you're here. What are you guys looking at? If you guys have any questions, anything that, you know, if you guys made a little money on that trade, let us know. How are you guys feeling today? What are some things that you're looking at? All right, so here's the SPY. That's a really nice pullback to yesterday's high, okay? And on my chart, it doesn't look like they pulled into it, but that's a nice double bottom. See if we get a pullback right into 378, and we'll see if we can take her on the highs. I wouldn't mind looking for that. That would be my ideal scenario, right? Right there. Taking the long right there. If it can hold. Ooh. Ooh. She's still holding. It's an area. Damn, that's brutal. Got a little bit of resistance here. Pre-market support. You can do it. You can do it, SPY. You can hold it. You can hold it. She broke. She broke it. You gotta be kidding me. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. SPY broke it. Shit's going down now. You just seen that move, right? You just seen that move, right? Oh shit. What's the SPY doing? Come on. Oh man, I'm trying to hurry up. That's so funny. That's so funny. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. What'd she do? Okay, she flipped it and reversed it. I don't know why I've been saying that, lady. I heard it somewhere. I know it was a rap song back in the day from what's her name? But she flipped it and reversed it. Let's see here. Man. So I'm gonna watch. I'm just gonna be vigilant here. That was a pretty quick reversal there. That you thought it was gonna hold and it didn't. That may have been a shake and bake. It could have been a shake and bake. I'm still looking for Meta to see what she does here. That's going to be my my battleground is 381. Hopefully I don't miss it, but what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go get a cup of coffee real quick. Let's see if we start extending to the highs. This is going to be the area I'm watching. All right. See what happens here. See what happens here. Again, we were looking at the 377.50s. That's very doable. That's doable today. All right. I'll be right back. Watch it try to do it now. There's some big sell orders coming in. There's some big sell orders coming in. So look, again, you have level 2 down at the bottom left. All that fun stuff. If you guys, do you guys want this chart or do you want the 4-way where you can see the 15-minute trade line and stuff? Damn, I wish you mother truckers would. I wish you would answer me. I'm just kidding. Alright, so you're getting the trade line to come in here on the 15-minute just so we're aware of everything that's going on. She's trying to hold. Volume's pulling back. She's a bit extended and overdone. The 50-day sits way down here at 340. Kind of curious how today ends up going because of the earnings next week. And if positions and profits start to be taken before the weekend in case of any news or anything. So watch the VIX. Watch the VIX and watch your yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna go get my AirPods, by the way. I'm gonna go get my AirPods because they're outside in the vehicle, unfortunately. I'll be right back. Let me know if you guys can hear this, if it's not too loud. Hopefully I didn't just kill your ears. I'll be right back. You guys can't hear it because I don't have AirPods in yet. You'll have to give me a second. There's the pop long. Oh no, awesome. I have them right here, guys. I don't have to go outside. I brought them in.
About 6 months ago, it was clocking at about 20% unemployment for young people. Now it's at 0.9%, so a lot better. The authorities say that it's because they're not including students in this number who are looking for part-time work. Right. But the question is that you can actually still be a student or decide to study, but maybe you decide to do that because you can't actually find any work. So it's difficult to say exactly how meaningful this change is.
Yeah. And of course, Eunice, continued questions to your point. You know, if there isn't stimulus, do they even lean harder on the export part of the economy? And what is that going to mean, for example, like markets like ours, in terms of keeping out those
Absolutely.
cheaper Chinese goods? Eunice, thank you. Eunice Yoon, of course, in Beijing for us. With the S&P and the NASDAQ both up nicely on the session, our live market coverage continues right after this.
All right, chat. What we doing? What we doing, chat? What we doing? What'd you guys come up with today? How'd you guys do? Let me know. Who made money? Who didn't? Who's pissed off? Who's on cloud nine? Let me know. Let me know. I'm telling you, y'all need a win. You just need a win. That's all it is. You need a win. Shit's crazy, man. I don't know how. I got to do a lot better, maybe. Maybe I got to do some more marketing and stuff. I feel like maybe I'm just not good enough. I don't know. And again, like, I come into this mindset of, like, who am I? All right, who am I? But I feel like we get some valuable things going through this stream. It's kind of... And you know what? Listen, I like to acknowledge the small victories. I want to thank you guys for hitting that like button. I do. The ones that hit that like button, thank you. It means a lot because it goes a long way. It helps us get to the goal. All right, helps us get to the goal. Guys, I can teach you how. If there's anybody out there that wants to, like, understand things like trading options and being told that they're risky and this and that, like, there's a lot, man. There's a lot that we could run through and help, provide some education for you guys and ways to be able to minimize the losses and actually make some money and build your net worth up. All right, let's go look at Netflix. That was another name that we were watching. It's still just hanging out at VWAP. Looks like it's putting in a long bear flag here. Okay, long bear flag. We'll look at Meta. If that's a little too loud, I can turn it down.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to Money Movers. I'm Carl Quintanilla with Courtney Reagan live on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Today, Spirit tries to save its merger with JetBlue and maybe its business as a whole. TD Cowen airline analyst Helene Becker is going to join us after warning of collapse.
Then it's not just tech looking toward efficiency. Wayfair and Macy's both slashed their workforces. The ripple effect for retail this hour as well.
We'll get a look at energy and some of the stocks that are trading at a discount now to the broader sector. S&P Energy, the biggest laggard of the year.
Right now, if we look at the broader market, things are higher, at least marginally so. Once again, though, the Nasdaq leading the way, higher by about 0.5%. Topping the tape for us this morning, mega cap tech versus the broader market. That Nasdaq 100 does hit new highs. JP Morgan sees risk to the tech bulls and warns of derating ahead. And then there's Barclays this morning recommending value over growth. So let's bring in CNBC senior markets commentator Mike Santoli. He's going to sort it out for us.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the market action this year has again forced this question on people. Do we believe that the last 2 months of last year were representative of a real trend change where you're going to have the average stock catch up or not? Yeah, the NASDAQ 100 year-to-date's only, less than 3 weeks, is 3 percentage points ahead of the median S&P 500 stock. So you've seen it happen already. I think the argument against some kind of just sort of blind rush from the few mega cap growth stocks into everything else is the earnings are also behind the mega cap growth stocks. So if you look at the sources of S&P 500 earnings this year, it's largely driven by the big ones. I also think about October when the market did come up with that low after the correction. Earnings season isn't often or isn't always a trend changer, but right as we were 2 weeks into earnings season and the big tech firms started to report, that was October 27th, and that was the low of the market. So it's sort of this reminder that that's what the fundamental basis has. I don't think it has to be an either-or market. I've been saying that for a month now. But so far, I think people are trying to figure out if this year was just sort of a gut check on that broadening trade or same old market.
I wonder if you think UMISH today, given the combination of better confidence and lower inflation expectations, sort of sums up the overall environment that we're in.
It does. I mean, I almost think it crystallizes the soft landing consensus at the beginning of this year. Now, since then, I think...
And here I am talking with not the mic on. Damn it.
And figuring out if we have to push out the timeline on rate cuts. To me,
All right.
that's not the worst.
So here, double bottom, yesterday's pivot high. I was just bringing up how the SPY, like even on the 5 minute, there's this wick here. and I said that I presume that, you know, the majority, you know, it's still going higher off the double top of yesterday's high, but that 5-minute wick, there are some sellers in there. So it may take some time, right? If we get a pullback, doesn't mean we're going to get a pullback. We could just climb to new highs, like the title says. We're all bulled up, right? All bulled up. So let's just watch. Let me pull up a 15-minute chart. Yesterday's test, guys. I am not letting that happen. I have it written down right here. Don't let it happen again. You see it, take it. 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 Yesterday, this right here was just beautiful. Beautiful 15-minute entry. And when you got to the level, what you also saw, right, was look how small the candle got. It's like, okay, the buyers are not stepping up to break that level to go lower, right? It held, bang, off to the races. And it was just, I called it out, right? I called it out right here in chat, like, yo, SPY, 15-minute, look, it's holding yesterday's high.
Yeah, I definitely think
So,
it's positive.
just wanted to, it was just a really nice trade where, like, stuff like that, I don't want to do again. Yesterday was like a rough day because I didn't get that much sleep. I didn't get that much sleep last night, but I'm still here competent from yesterday going over some of the, because I went over last night's video, some of the reasons why I didn't perform yesterday.
You know, seeing some weakness there in the first couple weeks of the year, but I think you have to be
Look.
patient. I think the story for the market is really going to be about sort of churning here.
I would wait and see if you could get a force. If you're just trying, if you think you're going to get a reversal on the SPY, I personally would wait up until 479, 479.50. I would wait until you get up there. I don't think this area here. Well, you know, let's see. So resistance, you break it, pull back to support, okay? Resistance, you break it, pull back into it, bang. So you got a lot of buyers there. You may still have a lot of buyers here at this double bottom. Look at this order. That's down here at 476.50. So if we get up here at highs, I want to look to take Meta lower. There's the 2-minute. Everybody talking about the market stretch. Nah, shit, we're going higher. We're going higher. We're going higher. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're going higher. Watch out, guys. We may even take out pre-market highs. I'm gonna tell you right off the jump, just from the little bit that I'm seeing. Oh shit! And then there's the hourly, so it all depends on. It's so weird. It like it just goes from one extreme to the other on the charts. That's so weird.
And that you like small cap stocks. Talk to us through those theories.
Yeah, I mean, we did see.
So short term, I think we go higher. I think we go up into test pre-market highs, and then I think we pull back.
But I think that we're in
May even clear it.
environment where we are expecting a soft landing and some
We are
reasonably
expecting a
solid
soft
economic
landing,
growth.
blah, blah, blah,
GDP
blah, blah.
forecast for 2024
You don't know what we're
about
gonna get.
1.3%.
Because what are you going to do if banks go up again? I know the Fed will have to step back in, but that's just going to continue to provide quantitative easing. Like, there is a small landing because the Fed has resolved an issue by providing liquidity, and liquidity by definition being money. All right. Or purchases of assets that in turn take U.S. dollar bills.
I think it's a good place to be. So we have an overweight.
I'd like to get Wu-Tang on here and trade with Wu-Tang, and probably even Dave Chappelle with that whole like. You guys know that. You gotta diversify your bonds, bitch. Diversify your bonds. Fucking hilarious. Things aren't like they used to be. When I grew up, we had the best shows. We really did.
What about energy right now? The group just turning marginally
So,
positive here on the session.
what's funny is I wouldn't mind working for this lady right
A lot
here.
of discussion there, of course, as it relates to what's going to happen in the global economies.
I have not seen her on CNBC in a while.
Energy here looking forward.
We're market weight on energy. We don't think the dollar is going to be weak enough to really support a super cycle in commodity prices. So I think within the energy patch, you know,
That's a
some of the
good one.
stocks
And he's
could
also
work better than
forgetting.
others against range-bound oil
He's
prices.
also forgetting
Really,
too
for the market as a whole,
that,
and getting back
you
to
know,
the discussion
other
on growth
countries like
sector
China,
overall, as we think about the
they're
gains
not
of the
buying gold,
Magnificent Seven
right?
versus
They're not
everything
doing that
else.
right now.
The divide is
So
there. It's as wide as it's been
that
probably
that
since the
also
late
you
1990s, but the
it
driver
also
is starkly
helps when you have a
different.
country
We
behind
continue
you
to
buying the
argue that
asset
the steadiness of
or a
gains
commodity in
and the
that
Nasdaq
case.
100 is
Here we go.
underappreciated.
There's
And
the high,
instead,
like we
the
said.
divide has really been driven by how poorly the rest of the market has done. The other 493.
I own One
So
Oak.
the case for convergence
I've owned One Oak
is
for a while.
really based on catch up rather than catch down, as it was.
I loaded up on the
post-GFC bubble.
lows
Something
on
we
energy
love to see, and
back
I
during
think that's
COVID.
why that's the case for a market surprise in 2024.
Let's see what we got
You know,
here.
for
Market's
us,
going
mid-cap
higher.
growth really captures that attractive balance between
Market's going
secular
higher.
growth leadership and that intermediate term rotation potential in lower capitalized stocks. You know, we do remind,
so I wanted to see some of the
investors that
winners real
technology has
quick. Let's just
outperformed
look
more
at
than any other sector in a bull
some of the
market
names we're
environment.
watching.
The fact, you know, we would expect tech
Look at
to
Wayfair. Just
continue
there's
to
your
lead,
50-day test.
in
It's going to
assuming
pull
that the
itself
bull market
back.
continues this year, as we do.
Megan, how much of what Ari just described, a pretty bullish scenario, depends on inflation coming down? And does any of
We
the
said
turmoil
on
in the
Boeing
Middle East sort of
213,
put at risk,
214,
the goods
right in
deflation
that
we've
area at
seen
that
so far?
previous high. We want to get
Yeah,
shouty.
you're making a great point, Carl, in terms of the inflation.
So I
the
live
disinflation
like
that we have
10
seen
minutes from
has
her,
been,
guys. Not even 10 minutes. I live right
pretty
down the street from her.
widespread, but
Pretty
we've gotten
much.
a lot of help from
And
deflation.
we got a lot of
And
snow,
if
as you
look
can
at
see. We got a good amount of
geopolitical
snow.
risk, I think that
Holy
skews to
shit.
the upside in terms of potential supply
Yeah,
chain
finally.
disruptions.
I thought we were going to
and,
get
energy
get through the year
prices.
unscathed,
So
but
interest rates and the Fed continue to be the main story. We are encouraged by disinflation and expect that.
she's
to
got a
continue.
really nice home.
I would just,
I'm not even-
maybe
I don't
push
wanna
back
talk
a
about
little
her
bit
business,
on the
but she's got a
secular growth
beautiful
story
home.
and the focus on tech, which we do like. But I think that there might be more opportunity, again, if you're patient in some of those sectors and areas of the market
right,
where
so,
expectations are very
other than
low,
the
it's
nonsense,
easier
I'm
to surprise
saying
to the
let's.
upside.
So
So
Tesla
if you think about
is back down to
manufacturing, which has
pre-market
been in a
lows.
recession, at
Meta,
some point we're going to come out of that, and there is a lot of upside
Netflix.
for those parts of the market.
I'm
like
going to scan these
industrials, maybe
markets. If you guys have
materials,
questions, let me know. I want to
and then
hear this real
financials as
quick,
well.
and then I'll
It's a
let you
very,
guys
very difficult year
know
in
what I see
2023,
and
I think
just
we'll see some
something I
recovery.
take.
Ari, Megan, thank you guys. Great discussion as we go into an even busier week next week with earnings. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Thank you.
Well, turning now to the
Never
retail
mind.
sector and a wave of layoffs that we've been seeing. First, there's Macy's announcing it will cut 3.5% of its workforce and close 5 stores to
Why
become
why
a,
is
quote, more
Macy's
streamlined company.
fucking selling
And then
off,
there's
but every
Wayfair.
other
The
company
stock
will go
jumping this
higher?
morning as the company announces it will lay off 13% of its workforce. Wayfair initially boosted headcount during the pandemic to keep up with booming sales as we were all buying goods for our homes, but now it's in this period of restructuring as that demand normalizes. On the flip side, Walmart today is raising store
Snow
manager
was
pay by
really
over
weak
9%
this week.
to $128,000
Or at least I
a
thought it
year. The
was.
company also
Yeah,
revamping
previously
its bonus
weak.
program to give managers up to 200%
I wonder if this could be a
of their
short
base
here.
salary. That's going to be based more on store sales rather
On
than
Snowflake.
profit. So we're seeing two different strategies.
And look, the
at
SPY is
play here.
already at
One
highs,
versus
guys.
Investing in employees. And Carl, it is obviously very interesting as we look at the different formats too. I mean, Wayfair is e-commerce only.
SPY's at highs.
Walmart is obviously stores and e-commerce. It's big box. It's a lot of staples categories, and then Macy's is department stores. A lot of them mall-based, which is a format that is struggling. So a lot of nuances here. I do think it's very interesting to
Yeah,
talk about what's going on
188.
with Walmart in increasing
188
the
is
pay for
where
the store managers, and Walmart has a very
I would
long
look
track
to
record of
try
taking
and get
employees through these
Snowflake
career
short.
journeys, and I think they're
It may
really
it
trying
looks
to
like it may
enforce
just
that
consolidate.
with some of
This is a
its
beautiful
messaging.
cup
I
and
mean,
handle.
Doug McMillan, who is the CEO,
If I've
started
seen one.
obviously
Like,
as an
it's
hourly
so
employee, and
clear.
he's not alone in a number
When
of
you
employees
guys
that have
ever
been with the
think you
retail
see a
industry
pattern like a cup and handle or something, because you first have this,
of Walmart and its low
well, really it would be that. But look how tight the candles are. Look how tight they are.
Like a million years ago, but that was, in Bentonville, and people were like, wait, what? You're doing what? Some wages, starting wages, and now it looks
crazy.
It does, and I think
So I'm gonna scan through these. I'm gonna scan through the markets, guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm like going off track here. And then I'm gonna go through the heat map and see what our runners are, what isn't running. We can do that right now. I wanted to look at Disney also.
Stores every day, and when you go to a store and you want help from an employee, it's great to have one available.
You made the point earlier that the Macy's layoffs and store closures are a bit of a repeating story, but this time it's happening in the middle of some leadership transitions.
It is. That's a really good point. So Tony Spring is taking over as CEO here in coming weeks, and he was the CEO of Bloomingdale's. He's taking over as Jeff Gannett retires, and it is something that we have seen almost annually here since 2014. Between 2014 and 2020, that Macy's does announce these layoffs and store closures around this time of year. In 2020, when they made that announcement, it stretched through 2023. It was sort of this 3-year restructuring program. So, yeah, I think we're going to hear a little bit more about Tony Spring's strategy going forward here as he does officially.
There's our resistance level on Meta. Watch the SPY, guys.
Banner for some time. So
I still have the puts up.
What changes or not he makes.
I still have it up. We need volume, though.
Just know that format is under a lot of pressure. But while the shares are selling off here today, they're up 53% in 3 months. So a lot of action in the department store space, really, as we've moved forward here over the last quarter.
Yeah, a lot of us remember, what was it, $5 a share in the depths of COVID. That was a tough summer.
Absolutely.
Meantime, some new reports say that Spirit is urging JetBlue to appeal that blocked merger after shares fell more
so
than 60%
I could put this on right now at the price that it's at. I could grab some of it, put it on, and just let it expire worthless, and I'd still be up from the first trade on this downside here. You know, in case it doesn't happen until randomly, and I'm in at highs, and we do get that gap fill today, right? Anything can happen. We have Fed bar at 1 o'clock too. So don't forget that. Shit, it's going to go now. Not really. I don't think it will. But it could. It could. So we have a Fed member. All right. Existing home sales -1. Okay, so that's good. That's slowing. I think that's why we saw the markets bounce like they did. Consumer sentiment. Previously, blah, blah, blah. They didn't give it to us. I don't see it on there. Consumer sentiment 78. Okay. Sales 2.7. Damn, Mexico's retail sales are down. 1.1. Wow, even month over month they're down. Michigan inflation expectations 2.9%. Current conditions 83. That's good. Michigan consumer expectations preliminary 5-year inflation expectation 2.8. Consumer sentiment 78. I guess sentiment is a lot better than what they suggest it to be. All right, Fed bar at 1 o'clock. Just remember that he is on at 1 o'clock. You have net. Oh, that's at the end of the day. Fed daily, Dolly. One o'clock, okay? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, gang. There goes Meta. Let's look at Netflix. See if Netflix is rebounded. It's rebounded a little bit. Not that much, though. All right, what else do we have? MSFT. So let's scan around these markets to see what we got. Now, I said yesterday I'm not going to continue to go around and look for all these little things. I'm going to sit and watch them. How long have you guys been trading for? And what name was your biggest, like, top gainer? It doesn't have to be money with top gainer.
Half this week after a judge blocked that merger with JetBlue. Now a new report says Spirit is pressing JetBlue to appeal. Our Phil LeBeau has more on what we know so far.
Why are you pressing me, bro?
And whether or not they appeal is going to be a key contributor to seeing what happens with this stock over the next couple of weeks, Carl.
Looking
Let's
forward.
take a look at what's happened with Spirit today. And the reason the stock is up more than 20% is because the company released revised guidance when it comes to the fourth quarter. That guidance saying that Q4 revenue will come at the high end of previous guidance. So people took that as a positive sign. Hey, look, they had a strong Thanksgiving and a strong Christmas. All the airlines did. Good weather contributing to that. Having said that, Savvy Scythe, analyst at Raymond James, who covers the airline industry, put out a note this morning looking at Spirit's options, saying it is clear to us that Spirit is pressing JetBlue to appeal the antitrust ruling, but we continue to believe the chances of success, meaning a successful appeal, are low. That's one reason why you hear a number of people on Wall Street saying, look, if you can't appeal this, or if JetBlue doesn't go through, what are your options? You've got a couple of things that are at play here. First of all, in terms of Spirit's finances, the company has liquidity of $1.3 billion. So they're not bankrupt. They don't have no money at all. But they only have $1.3 billion, and they've got to restructure their 2025
Looks
debt.
like
Debt that comes
semiconductors
due
are
next
strong,
year
but look at all
at
this red we
$1.1
have.
billion. That is a
So
priority.
does
They
it
talked
start
about
to
that
work
this
its
morning.
way to the
We will
tech
get more
sector
from the
and start to
company
pull it
on
down? You can
February
see
8th. That is
software
when it reports its
applications,
Q4
solar
results.
names are
No doubt,
down,
guys,
okay?
This has been a tumultuous week for Spirit shareholders. There's still people out there who think that, look, this stock could come back. There's value here with this company. They've got 5% market share. Having said that, they also have some serious headwinds.
Phil, appreciate that. Good setup. Our Phil LeBeau this morning.
Our next guest isn't optimistic for the company's future, Spirit that is, and argues the best course of action is filing for bankruptcy.
Fucking
and then
missed it, man.
entering
I've
liquidation.
been watching
Joining us
this
now, TD
name
Cowen
too.
Managing Director Helene Becker. I imagine
That
you've had a very
sucks,
busy
bro.
couple weeks. I guess covering this
Can't
sector
catch them
is
all. We had a
always
great
kind
day
of an
yesterday,
interesting
not
one,
yesterday, but the day
talk
before.
us through why you think bankruptcy is really
Humongous
the best
day.
plan.
I had a
and then
wonderful day.
liquidation
The
to
type of
follow
day
that
that makes
point.
your month.
Yeah,
Coinbase is down.
So it's a Chapter 11 filing could be the best course of action for them because it would preserve value and it would could preserve jobs, which should be the company's foremost thought here. The idea. So what we said on Tuesday when the judge issued his decision was that look, Spirit has a big issue here.
PayPal's
We're really
up
happy
4%
that
too.
They're at the high end of revenue guidance.
Damn, look at PayPal, guys.
Phil just said they reported today. But when you think about the liquidity and the issues they have, airlines have a habit of going through cash very speedily. And their goal should be to preserve value as much as they can. And from a
Capital
timeline perspective,
preservation.
I think an appeal would not be helpful because I'm not sure it would work, although the judge's opinion did leave room for that. But Courtney, the idea here would be to spend the next 5 or 6 weeks making sure they have enough capital, which the $1.3 billion in liquidity helps them get to, kind of shop the company around, see if there are other
I'm
interests.
upset that I
Remember,
did
they're
not
a
swing
frontier,
trade
although
PayPal,
they don't
guys,
have the
yesterday or
currency
the
to do
day
it right
before
now.
when they started coming on TV.
Maybe
And I'm curious, like, even now.
if they can't do that,
Do you guys think that this PayPal could be trustworthy with them making a change to the upside and get a few more days of strength? At these prices, it seems like it's a decent price.
Elsewhere. And just because an airline or any company goes into Chapter 11 doesn't mean they can successfully restructure. A Chapter 7 might wind up being the end result for them.
Wow, I mean, obviously, Phil was talking about. You just raised the point that they have $1.3 billion in liquidity.
I'm upset that I didn't get that. He's upset.
$1 billion in debt due, and so filing for Chapter 11 would sort of help.
All right,
help
so there's
resolve
PayPal.
that. But why? I mean, Chapter 7 liquidation, like
CB,
then
CB Radio.
Why is that a best case?
Right, it might not be. I feel like it's
Mimo.
obviously the worst case.
Mimo.
Right?
MIMO. Mimo.
The Chapter
Yeah, Mimo is ripping with the old 26-cent stock.
outside of bankruptcy. And the reason for
Holy
that is
shit.
once you go in as a
Guys,
company,
be careful. Look at the volume back here.
situation, and
Mimo is dog poop.
aircraft can be moved, which was our point. I think the judge in his decision said something like, we're keeping this airline around.
You want to talk about it's manipulated? You might get your ass caught in a manipulation on that one. That one might actually be manipulated. Might be. Might be. Now, it just went across all the scanners, so you're going to have a lot more people jumping into it. Chances are they're going to be selling in front of that people buying it.
Say to Spirit, or Spirit can say to them, look, it will cost $1.5 million or $2 million per aircraft to reconfigure them for another operator. So let us pay less. And kind of do a prepackaged bankruptcy and kind of survive to get across the river to the next, maybe the next administration. With a more
I don't know how
Justice
they were so ahead of the curve, and like they could have done so much. See if they're able to change it.
Although, Helene, the judge's decision was interesting.
Travelers, we talked about that this morning. ARM. So semiconductors are strong, guys. Semiconductors are very strong. Google is nice and strong today too. That's been something we've been watching. Doesn't have the best of setups, but
you still have Frontier.
But there looks to be a trade there for sure.
As ultra low cost airlines, you have a Velo, you have Breeze. I think the messaging that we have is, this is pure economics. If airfares get too high, and people opt out of flying one airline, they can fly another airline. Part of JetBlue's issues really are that a lot of their capacity is in the New York market. And remember, in May of last year, the FAA asked the 4 airlines serving this New York market, JetBlue, Delta American, and United, to please cut capacity by 10% through October of 24. So you've got demand that's very strong, and yet you have supply that's constrained. And so to say that JetBlue lost its way, I think, is misunderstanding some of the industry issues that have pressured all the companies. And remember, the U.S. still has the safest air transportation system in the world. And we
Some
want to
nice
keep it
resistance
that way.
there, guys. Let's see
So,
what the spy's doing.
But
What we about to do? What we
asking
finna
these-
do,
not
guys?
Asking these two
What we
airlines
finna
to
do?
stay at 5% market share each and kind of try to keep each
What we
other
about to do?
honest, if you will, by keeping fares
Say,
low.
Meta,
They don't
you
need a
tell me.
great
What we about to do,
solution
Meta?
either.
You tell
I mean,
me.
the
You tell me what we're
fourth-largest
doing.
airline is 16% of the
What are we
domestic
doing?
capacity. So you're still talking about these airlines being a fraction of the big four. And I guess our argument is, first of all, we never thought this deal would get approved the way it was structured. But that said, JetBlue did everything it could. It walked away from the Northeast Alliance. It talked to Frontier and Allegiant about giving
Alright, she's
them
holding.
the LaGuardia slots
She's
and
holding.
Boston
Again,
slots
don't
and
fight the
Fort
trend. The
Lauderdale
volume's to the
slots.
upside. It's
It
going
reached
higher.
out as much as it could
Alright, the rest
to
of the
try to
market's
get
going
this deal
higher.
across the
Nvidia.
finish line. And the DOJ just kept saying, no. Anything you
Oh,
do
I
is
need to
not
look at
gonna
like
solve the issue.
MSTR
We
and
just want
Coin.
more airlines. And
Go
our
down that
pushback is,
dangerous,
you can
like,
have as many
devil
airlines
road.
as you
The
want,
devil
but if you
road.
don't have
Ooh,
a
look at that.
profitable and
That's a nice double
strong
bottom.
aviation industry, you cannot
Holy
have
smokes.
a strong economy, and I think they go hand in hand. And you want to maintain that safe, system. And the other thing to think about, I don't know how much more time we have, but the only thing I would add is, just because you're taking some capacity out of Boston and Fort Lauderdale, JetBlue on a combined basis.
Spy is on beast mode, guys.
I mean, how does anybody
Spy
think
on
about the
beast
fact that
mode.
if
It does
Spirit
not get any
announced they're
easier than
leaving
that.
Denver,
Double top right off the
that reduces
prior day's
capacity in
high.
that market.
Yeah, there's still a lot of questions
It's
here,
just
and I'm not exactly sure what
unbelievably-
the future holds, but I guess you're going to help us get there, Helene. I'm sure you're
It's
going to be
just-
busy. Have
it's
some extra
just-
coffee here today. Helene Becker from TD Cowen, thank you for joining us.
Look at that. I mean, you guys see that setup. Look at that. Gaps above it, pulls right back into it. Bang.
Plus, financial earnings continue.
Wham, bam,
State
thank you,
profits
ma'am.
dropping by
Bang.
71% year over year, but results still top estimates.
But
Positive
we
key
are
guidance up
waiting
in those shares.
for,
Second biggest gainer
again,
on
that's
the S&P
Microsoft, but
today, look at that, higher by more than 4%.
we're going to
Stay
see
with
what
us. I'll be
happens
right
when
back.
we get up to that area. Let's see here. All right. I just missed.
MIMO, Airspan, another spike here. Up about 70%.
I'm looking to re-enter that meta trade, guys. Just so we're all clear.
Welcome back to Money Movers. I'm Silvana Henao, and here's your CNBC News update at this hour. U.S. and Mexican officials are meeting today to discuss the migrant crisis at the southern border. The talks, which will include Secretary of State,
I'll let you know if I get filled.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, are an extension of discussions that began in Mexico in December. U.S. officials say there were historic highs in illegal crossings last month. The FAA is investigating after a Boeing 747 cargo plane made an emergency landing Thursday night after it was seen flying over Miami in flames. According to an FAA report, the post-flight inspection revealed a softball-sized hole above one of the engines. The incident comes after a commercial Boeing flight lost its door plug mid-flight earlier this month. And Japan says its Moon Sniper spacecraft made its landing today, making it the 5th country to achieve a moonshot. The country's space agency is still working to confirm communication with the probe. It's called the Moon Sniper because it was designed to land within feet of its target rather than the conventional accuracy of several kilometers, Courtney. Pretty cool.
I like that. That's a good name, Moon Sniper. Thank you, Silvana.
You got it.
Well, energy, just one of the 3 S&P sectors to finish last year in negative territory, is now a buying opportunity or more downside ahead. We'll discuss when Money Movers returns. We'll be right back.
We have an IPO getting ready to open too, by the way.
lot of Fed speak this week ahead of the blackout period. Atlanta Fed President Bostic on the tape yesterday looking at Q3 for a potential first rate cut. Fed President Goolsbee talking with our own Steve Leisman this morning on Squawk Box, not committing to any timeline. That was a great interview, Steve. And one last bit of clarity before we go dark.
Yeah, that was the second to last person to speak. We'll get Daly later on today. Chicago Fed President Goolsbee, though, in that exclusive interview that Carl was talking about, sounding a bit less dovish, maybe a bit more guarded in his outlook for rate cuts this year.
Inflation has come down a lot, and I've been highlighting for months with you, Steve, and elsewhere. That's the thing that everybody should be watching to determine what will the
there goes Meta. The SPY's pulling back too, just a little bit. SPY could get down to 478. That could give us a nice little run.
Meetings or decisions. It's fundamentally about the data and what will enable us to become less restrictive.
Goolsbee said 2023 was a good year for the Fed on what he calls the golden path of bringing down inflation without spiking the unemployment rate. But he declined to say how much or when.
Give me one more bounce, my guy. Give me one more bounce, SPY. One more bounce higher, please. Give me a bounce. Give me a bounce.
And the rate cut probabilities for March.
And I will be getting short. I'll let you guys know. I'll be shorting Meta.
Highs of nearly 80% following the December meeting, almost back to where they were before that meeting. Goolsbee joining the chorus of Fed officials who have tried in this intermeeting period to tamp down market expectations for cuts this year. Shortly after his comments, the data from Michigan showing the Fed's rate cut conundrum. Consumer sentiment rose, a good sign for growth, may be difficult for inflation, but inflation expectations and housing starts fell. So the Fed has been successful in talking down market optimism for cuts. The question is whether the Fed risks the recession it tried to avoid by taking its time to lower rates. So, Courtney, we can feel good. We can feel that inflation is coming down. We're just apparently not allowed to feel good about it.
I wonder if the Fed has one of those big boards, you know, like you see on the television shows when they're trying to solve crimes and they're like, okay, this data is good. Wait, this data is bad. And then they have to try to string it all together to come up with their ultimate decision, right?
Like the Homeland Security Board, like Homeland
yes.
with
like
the
Homeland,
lines
that's exactly
and the
what
yarn.
I was thinking with Carrie. That's exactly what I was thinking. Sometimes I need a visual.
Oh, I'd love
ugly cry.
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
Ugly cry. Sometimes I just need a visual, right? I want to understand like how they're sorting out all this data, especially when it can be conflicting. Thank you very much, Steve. Appreciate that. Well, as we continue to try to make sense of the latest Fed commentary, boards or not, we're joined by USBC U.S. economist Ryan Wang. He sees rate cuts starting in June with 75 basis points of easing over the course of 2024. And Ryan, if I could, I cover retail, so I get very zoned in on the readings about the consumer. We had much stronger than expected retail sales, much stronger than expected consumer sentiment. I know inflation is coming down, but are any of these risks possibly that it could swing the other way as a lot of these areas of consumer spending, I mean, the consumer doesn't seem deterred?
Yeah, look, I think when you look at the economic data that's been coming through, you have to say it's been coming in a positive direction. And I hate to use the phrase, but you may even call it a Goldilocks type of data that we're getting through. The labor market is still adding jobs. That's the bottom line. Employment growth has slowed, but it's still positive. And so consumers are still spending. And if consumers are still spending, then businesses keep hiring. So, that's what's been in place in recent months. And I think what markets are looking forward to potentially is that whether or not that'll change later in the year. But right now, you have to say that virtuous cycle has still been in place and could continue for longer than you might otherwise expect.
And so if that's where we are, do you do still expect the Fed to cut rates in June?
Well, yes, I think here, the rate cuts that we expect are, I would call them of the more modest variety, 75 basis points over the course of this year. And to this point, we've heard from Fed policymakers who basically have indicated that they don't need to see a recession to cut rates. It has to do with the progress on inflation. Next week, we should see a core PCE inflation reading that falls to 3% or possibly even a little bit below 3%. A year ago, that same rate was 5%, right? So it's this progress on inflation that's allowing for more modest rate cuts. But I think more aggressive and larger rate cuts will only occur if the Fed is actually worried about recession. And so far, that's not in the data. It's part of the forecast. The Fed is forecasting that growth will slow into maybe a 1 to 1.5% range this year. And last year, growth will have been at least 2.5%, right? So it's actually been quite some time for businesses to kind of deal with the slowdown of the magnitude that's anticipated to occur later this year, right? So right now we're riding high because the markets are pricing in some rate cuts, but businesses are still benefiting from strong demand and strong growth.
Right, which kind of brings us to something the Journal brought up today, Ryan, and that is if the consensus core PCE numbers on a 3-month annualized are looking at 1.5. On a 6-month, they're looking at 1.9. I'm wondering, are you a buyer, or are you even paying attention to this discussion about an
Damn, because, man, that's about 100% just on that move if you were to get in around that 10, 12 cent mark.
It's always hard
even
to
at
tell where
10
you are
10
with
cents,
inflation,
you
and
know,
we're
it's
talking
you're
about
talking
these
80,
numbers in a sense, we're a little bit wacky.
70%.
We're talking about a 12-month rate. But I
That
do think the
sucks.
Fed is very
That
happy
sucks.
to-
We're not getting
to
the
be able
bounce
to see
back.
that 12-month
We might
rate
still
go
get the bounce
below
back.
3%,
All right, because I could see that the SPY pulls back into like
shortly thereafter.
look
And then
for
at that stage, you know, you close the gap
277,
pretty
97,
with your
278,
inflation
or
target,
278,
And so now you're
478,
okay, well, when's the time for an
pretty much right
adjustment?
here,
You know,
like
do I
like
wait
here
for
on
core
Meta,
PCE to fall to 2.5%,
and see
maybe
what
by that time
happens.
you can say, all right, I have
See what
pretty good
happens.
confidence we're on a good path. In terms of an undershoot, look, I don't think that's as much of the issue as it is.
Like
on
I pulled
the
these
growth
things
side,
up, they
right? I
were
think,
10,
part of the
11 cent
forecast, we
spread.
also expect that slowdown well below
Not spread,
3%,
but 10
GDP
bid
growth
ask
on a
10,
fourth quarter over fourth quarter
11,
basis, right?
12 cents.
And it remains to be seen how that feels, right? And I think that is the key, where the data in a way can't remain in this configuration for the entirety of this year, right? We're either going to have resilient growth, more resilient than is expected.
I want to try
but
to
in
get a
that
gap
case, we're not
fill.
going to get the rate cuts that I think are priced in the market.
I don't even think the SPY has filled its gap, guys.
I guess we have to wait and see.
SPY hasn't filled its gap either yet, so see if the SPY puts in another like lower high here, and then we'll see, like, even looking on the weekly chart and stuff like that, how we think it's going to finish. I'm really watching the markets right now. It's 11:45, even though it's lunchtime. You know, there's a lot of snow. There's a lot of people home. I think it might be OpEx. I think. Let's see here. Let's go to the daily chart. Oh my gosh, what is going on, man? Holy smokes. Holy smokes. I don't know what's going on here. What?
Best thing I've ever done. That's what Freddie told me. It was the best thing I've ever done ever. Yes.
369. Damn, she fine. Not a living, not a living. Not a living. 36912. Okay, so maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's the Forex stuff. I don't know. So and I was singing that South Park 9/11 song because of the contracts. Feels like my computer's just getting getting slow or something right here. That's a really nice resistance level right there at 48.40. Beautiful flat top resistance here, guys, on the daily chart. If you guys haven't seen that yet. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful resistance there. Bring up a weekly chart. Look how slow. It's just lagging. Alright, what are we going to do? Are we going to finish with the tail here? Potential spam. No, thank you. Not right now. Potential spam. Alright, so. Come on. I don't understand why it's going so slow like that. I mean, I do. It's probably just having a hard time. Alright, so futures broke, guys. Looks like futures broke here. Let's look at the 5-15 minute-ish charts. All right. What is it doing? Come on. So, I'm looking at Meta. Look, like I've already spun it over and it's lagging horribly. It's halfway froze.
Scale. A little more than a week out from the launch of those spot Bitcoin ETFs, and despite
I know it's not on. You see my arrow? See how it's like not keeping up with it? See? It's lagging. The lag effect of my computer and my charts. So
the price of Bitcoin itself has fallen to
let me stop this. I know I have a lot going on here. That might help. So I want to see what happens if we start to try and hold, or what we do as far as a daily chart and stuff. It wasn't until I went to futures when it started doing this. Man. I want to see like a nice huge move. That would be awesome if we could just get a huge move down to like 470, like 480. Like, give me that 480 test, bro. Doubt that'll happen. But one could stay hopeful. Yeah, right here at 4,800. That looks like a good area that would close the weekly chart off with a nice tail. Alright, so the SPY is kind of bouncing. Alright, this is a lot better. I don't know what was going on with futures. Like, this is better. Good deal. It's got a little more room to go to the downside here at 478. And we'll look to see if she holds or if we can break it down. Because I want to look at this weekly chart, right? Bring down the weekly chart if we're going to close this thing red or green, or if we're just going to have this tail here and like engulf with no tail at the top but a long tail at the bottom. That's a bullish weekly candle going into this earnings, taking it to new highs. That would be a sign that this market's going to highs, even though it's on low volume. That's it. Let's see if we can try to get along here. All right, I'm really wanting to see if we can pull off a short and just try to bring this thing back down to low a day. I'm just not sure how much upside. You can see how it's just hanging out here. It could just rip at the end of the day. It could just sit here all day. Those are options. But I would like to be able to make a nice move here. I think a pullback gap fill would also entail that it's going to go higher, right? Because, you know, it wants to look back. It wants to cover its track. What's behind it? They're 9 to 10 cents right now. The snow is really coming down. That's right. That's right, right? Tell them. Yo, what y'all doing? Hit that damn like button, bro. I hear you. That's funny. No, they are though. I appreciate them. You know the usuals that show up every day. They do. All right. Qs. That looked really bullish there for a minute, bouncing off, trying to get that follow through, and now it just reversed. All right, now it just reversed. See what the SPY does. Because it looks like the Qs, I mean, we already know this, but the Qs are up here now, right? So which one's going to, if we start turning around, which one's already leading to the downside? Why is everything so slow right now? I don't like that. The IWM is still hurting. DIA. Dead in arrival. The Dow. So the Dow is pulling back. I would watch to see if... Let's see. So that bang, we pulled back. So the Qs is your first step to understanding what's going on, right? So if you look at the Qs and then the SPY and then the Dow, the Qs are leading, okay? Because you can see here how you pulled back and you rallied off of it. The Dow is still doing this, right? You have this little bit of your bull flag here, right? Got your little bull flag. Right, like, oh, I'm going to go grab some calls on this bull flag or bear flag. I'm going to get my puts, and I'm going to make so much money. So, let's see what happens, because then it feels like if the Qs start to pull back, which I don't think that they will, they could, all right? You are starting to get a little volume. Watch for the Dow to really lead you to the downside, And what would we want to do? How would we want to play that? Well, what's in the Dow? Boeing. Boeing is pulling back off of the 200-day moving average, 213, 214. So that was a trade right here. All right. So I'm watching Boeing, but I want to see if we bounce. All right. I want to see if we bounce a little further and then try to roll it over. That's my thoughts. I want to see if that happens. I want to see how this weekly candle closes. Yo, look at Wayfair not giving up, guys. Wayfair is not giving up. I would watch out. This thing really starts to get ahead of people, and they can't short anymore, let alone short. They don't have shares to sell, but they have to start covering their position. This thing is going to be on a runway, one-way ticket to like $60, $70, $80. Huge runner, and I'm still watching it. All right, because I think this thing has the ingredients to give us a huge run in the next week or two. The vid is snapping, guys. The vid is snapping right now. That's okay because I sold with you, Steph.
Times EBITDA. A lot of good news is priced in. They've done a great job in turning around their revenue story. They went from single-digit revenues to double-digit. We know about the year of the efficiency. So I just kind of feel like I made a lot of money. I bought it when everyone wanted to sell it, and now everyone loves it. In fact, 90% of the sell-side analysts have buys on it now versus 50% 2 years ago. So I think it's time to take my gains and move it elsewhere.
You know, I'm just wondering, what if it's just getting started? You know, it's been, as you said, they've gone through this period of time where...
I think NVIDIA, or not Meta, but NVIDIA, what if they do a stock split this earnings?
Ever for the stock in 2023. The efficiency, as you mentioned, from a forward PE standpoint, it's cheaper than its historical average, 21.3 versus 26.2. So it's not, you know, incredibly expensive, relatively speaking. And a lot of money, Steph, has been going back towards the big caps.
Yeah, and so what I did was I didn't want to be completely away from the Fab 7 FANG.
Guys, I'm going to have to log out of this and log back in. Give me 1 minute. It's just really slow and lagging.
You know, I bought that late last year when we saw a pullback. More money in there. Games.
Okay. Okay. So let's kick it around because, as you know, Sarat, who's sitting next to me out here just off the golf course, the stadium course, which he's going to be playing in just a little bit. You own Meta as well.
I do.
So what do you make of this move?
I've trimmed it, but I still want to own it. I think it's the high quality player. They've really refocused. You know, we just saw he announced he's going to buy more NVIDIA chips. They're growing.
Mark Zuckerberg, you're talking about.
The CEO. They're growing for the right reasons. And when you look at kind of where they are compared to the other Mag 7, they don't have that monopoly issue that all the others do. You get advertising income this year. You've got election year. I think you've got some tailwinds, and I want to ride it some more. I definitely agree with taking money off the table because the stock's done everything we wanted to, but I do think it might be just the beginning of another run, and then kind of I'm happy to take more off the table, but I like the fundamentals here, and I don't want to sell it when the fundamentals are so strong.
That's what we were just alluding to, whether, you know, this is because the transition that the company has made to get leaner and some would suggest
the year of
stronger.
Efficiency, right.
So, Joe, you own it as well. What's your assessment here?
I love everything that Stephanie said about Amazon. I agree with the ability for Amazon in 2024 to have some mean reversion relative to the other mega cap companies. But excluding Tesla, which is the one name that I do not own, selling any of the mega caps in the month of January is something I really don't ever want to do again. It's just when you look at the composition of the market right now and the performance of the market right now, I've been talking about it the entire month. It's now building in momentum. It is all about technology, communication services, mega caps, and NVIDIA and AMD. And just look where NVIDIA is, look where AMD is, and that will tell you where the market is going to go. So I'm just not going to move away from any of those mega caps right now. The concentration of 2023, it's here in 2024 once again.
Great point. And Shannon, you know, the NASDAQ is outperforming today. It had such a monster day yesterday in some respects since the beginning of the year relative to the Russell 2000, where most were figuring, hey, there's going to be this broadening out. What we saw from the end of October to the end of December was only going to carry through, if not add even further. And we just haven't really seen it. That goes to what Joe's talking about the composition of the market. Surprised some that you've had money moving back into the mega caps. So what do you want to do here?
I think the challenge here is that it's not just these mega cap tech stocks losing their leadership, Scott. It's somebody else taking on that mantle, taking that torch away from them. And I think that this earnings season, through a combination of both results as well as guidance, is really going to be the potential catalyst for that, or not. If you look at earnings estimates, they've come way down since October, and they've actually come way down from 4.7% to 4.4%. Just in January. And so that to me those estimates coming down aren't on these names that Joe just mentioned. They're on the rest of the market. I mean, you look at energy, continues to be in an earnings decline. We're continuing to see struggles there in a sector that didn't participate at all last year. So where's the rotation catalyst to go into that sector? You look at healthcare and staples. They've performed okay this year. I mean, and they're positive, but that could be really just a kind of a defensive barbell for investors who are looking for maybe some of that rotation to be on the tip of that, but also potentially going into healthcare because it just was so dire last year from a performance perspective. I think the importance here is that you really have to look at, is there going to be enough news where you're going to see earnings be boosted by continued margin recapture? Last year was a year of margin resilience. This year needs to be margin recapture. We know top line growth is going to come down because inflation's coming down. What sector, what industry can wrest away the leadership from technology, given the fact that they are expected to continue to have cost-cutting opportunities and to their, to the point where they do have some relative pricing power? I think it's a really challenging setup. Even though I do believe that we will broaden out, I think these next couple weeks are really critical.
Let's just take a moment to acknowledge what's on the right-hand side of your screen as well. 48.08 is where the S&P just was. Let's show it again. A 48.03, excuse me. It is above an all-time closing high as we speak. The all-time intraday high about 15 points or so higher. So we're going to be on that watch. And in many respects, this burst over the last couple of days has been taken by the mega caps. So, Steph, I bring it back to you for the last word before we move on, because that's the beauty of what you guys do. Present an idea, present a trade, the investment committee kicks it around. Sounds to me like no one's going to hate on the fact of taking profits, but I feel like there's some disagreement on getting out completely of something like Meta right now.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, it's all about your risk tolerance and risk reward. And this stock has had an enormous run. I'm not saying to sell all of technology. In fact, I view Amazon as technology, and I'm making that a much bigger bet. So I just have more conviction. I think there's better risk reward there. I think that in terms of technology as a whole, it's a place you want to be. But I don't want 35% of my portfolio to be so concentrated. So I'm at about 22% right now in technology, and I feel comfortable with that. But I am making the bets that I have, and there are a few of them in the technology sector and comm services that I'm making so much bigger, right? So that's what I'm doing there. But I do think that we're only 10% into earnings. Earnings have been good, okay, so far. 9% are beating. We get a whole slew of other companies that are about to report. And with the economy doing better than expected, and this is the whole reason why tech and the concentration has come back, because the economy and the data has been coming out that's been much stronger than expected. And anybody that was thinking 6 cuts, now talking about 3 cuts. I was out on the road this past week. There are some people that are thinking 0 cuts. And so that's why you've had this concentration back. But I believe the economy is staying strong it will stay strong throughout the year. Inflation is coming down. Margins are going to be stronger than expected. Earnings are going to be good in a variety of sectors. I'll give you housing. I'll give you consumer discretionary, infrastructure, and even in financials, especially as capital markets recovers. So there are other places I want to put my money.
It's interesting, Sarat. B of A's Michael Hartnett today in a note entitled "The Price is Right" talks about this range of the title is "The Price is Right." This 10-year range of 3.75% to 4.25% on the 10-year says you've had the biggest 2-week inflow into tech since August. That as long as you have that range of the yield, you're going to have what he terms a buyer's strike in banks, in REITs, in small caps, in leverage. In other words, as long as you remain within that range, you're going to continue to have money flowing to this area. Not to mention, Apple gets a huge upgrade yesterday. That stock absolutely surged. Taiwan Semi, you could argue, was, you know, the under the surface move, which really got tech going yesterday. Apple turbocharged it. So what about this idea of this buyer strike in other areas of the market?
Yeah, and I think it makes sense because what TSMC did yesterday also lifted all the semiconductors. So it wasn't just NVIDIA. You saw Qualcomm, you saw all the others, and you had money move into there. And you're absolutely right, because when the rates go below 4%, buyers come into financials, they come into utilities, they come into real estate. So at that point, what we're going to see there is if those companies can still perform, you're going to see margin, you're going to see compression on multiples. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there if those companies kind of, they can actually act on their earnings and get them. But at the same time, I think valuations might get a little extended. And to what Stephanie's point, we're all going to be looking at tech to say, as fiduciaries managing money, if they start getting, again, too big, you've got to kind of reallocate again.
We go back to the conversation, Joe, about why rates are going up. If they're going up for the right reasons, the stock market seemingly can get its arms around all of that. You've had, you know, good economic data. Today you had consumer sentiment, which was the highest since July of 2021. It gives you an idea of what the consumer is feeling, what the economy is doing. And you do have talk, whether it's Bostic yesterday, he was pretty dovish yesterday. Goolsbee today talked about a golden path on inflation and employment on Squawk Box this morning with the gang there. Joe?
Scott, I mean, the way that you've described it, the way that Stephanie, Sarat, and Shannon are speaking about the economy, it's very clear the economy is in a much stronger position than many people, myself included, expected. And all you really need to do is look at the one industry that really is the economy, and that's the semiconductor industry. Semiconductors, chips are what oil used to be in the 70s, and semiconductors are absolutely on fire right now, and that's telling you the economy is good. So I step back for a second, and I don't know, Scott, I can't remember a time in my years in the business where collectively the financial services industry was on the cusp of getting a rate cut, and everyone basically saying, no, we don't need it. We don't want it. We don't want the rate cut. Everything's fine. Just don't raise rates any further. And I think that's the place that the market is in right now. And it seems to me over the last several days, the market's pretty comfortable if yields are going to rise from 4% to 4.25%. But there's going to be areas of the market that are not going to be able to get their footing. And we've already described what those are. And those areas of the markets are the non-qualitative, longer duration areas of the market.
I do feel like the market does want rate cuts. Maybe it doesn't need the 6 or the 7 that it once thought it might. On the note about what chips are going to do, Raymond James, Steph, today on the Semi says AI is going to extend the play. So what do? NVIDIA, target goes to 700 from 600. AMD to 190 from 140. AMAT, Lam Research, which you've got, Intel, Micron, Marvell, KLA, all also raised there. It takes me to another move. You bought more Broadcom.
I did. I made it a really big position. So Lam is still the biggest one, and actually it's in the top 5 of my holdings, and Broadcom is now close to like number 6. I think they're going to see, definitely they're going to benefit from AI. I don't think it gets a lot of the credit, trading at 25 times forward estimates, but they're going to see double-digit total revenues in their AI business, in their networking area, in their custom compute business. Also, the cyclicality part of their business, the semiconductor business, should see a recovery, especially because they're tied more towards enterprise. And I think we are going to see an uplift in enterprise throughout 2024. And then, of course, the VMware synergies. I mean, the margin expansion from VMware could be something like 3,100 basis points over the next 2 years. That is huge. You know, I'm a big margin person. You do that plus double-digit revenues, you've got huge operating leverage. And so I think that 25 times multiple that it's trading at today probably looks more like 2021 times.
Shan, do you just ride the semis here, right? Do you believe that Raymond James, what they say, that AI is just a game changer and it's going to extend a whole lot of things, the semis included, regardless of the incredible appreciation in price, regardless of the expansion of multiples?
Well, we're really looking at, if you think about AI adoption and enablement in terms of the broader economy, Scott, you're really just very early on in this. And so I think if you kind of look at whether it's, moving from a focus on those that are enabling AI to those that are adopting and are incorporating that into their business, we're very early on in this. And I think that the benefit of kind of being on the front end of this is that there are going to be fits and starts in terms of companies that are adopting AI in terms of being able to actually yield productivity and efficiency improvements of it, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to be buying it. And, if you look at capital budgets for this year, it's estimated that a third of those budgets are going to AI efforts. And so when you think about comparing that to what's happening with cloud optimization, for instance, where we've seen a little bit of a stall out, there is this tailwind. The other thing, though, is Joe made a really good point. This is not just AI. This is an expectation or a shifting expectation of economic growth. And from a cyclical perspective, that's where I see potentially the broadening out. It's not just AI. It's what does stronger than anticipated economic growth, particularly in the second half, what does that yield? And where is there going to be some stimulative effect from things like manufacturing, which could actually be bottoming out and improving? So I think it's not just AI, Scott. I really think it's where are the cyclical parts of the market that haven't participated? Semis obviously have, but there's ways to pair that along with things that maybe haven't participated as well.
Wrap this chips part of this conversation up, especially NVIDIA, right? Talked about the price target bump, 700 from 6. I mean, the stock's been just elevating almost unabated. You've got these reports yesterday that suggest, Meta is spending billions of dollars on NVIDIA chips. Like, get in line. Who isn't at this point?
And it's become for NVIDIA, the demand is so much stronger than it can supply. But we always know about semiconductors, right? At some point when that turns, all of a sudden you have this huge glut. But the AI, the amount of, I think, intellectual property going into these semiconductor chips that we're talking about, specifically whether it's NVIDIA, Broadcom, Qualcomm, that's what you're paying for. You're not paying for commodity chips. They might go along with the ride, but it's the high value, high margin chips. And I think that still has a lot of tailwind behind it.
All right, we are going to take our first break. Don't go anywhere, because up next, American Express Chairman and CEO Stephen Squeri joins me live here at the American Express PGA Tour event in La Quinta, California, the beautiful 17th green of the stadium course behind us. We are back in just 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm so tired, man. I'm so tired. I did not get enough sleep the past 2 nights, guys. I may call it a day here. I will leave it in the comments section or open it back up at 2 in case the markets do decide to move. You guys have a great rest of your day. I am going to go get a little downtime nap, and I love y'all. Hit the like button, subscribe if you guys have questions. Anything I can do to help you get to the end game, and the end game being consistently pulling money out of the markets consistently, then I'm your guy. But until then, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. If, again, one more time, I will put it in the chats. Unless you guys are watching this. I'm kind of just falling asleep here and whatnot. I can leave it up to see what happens. But I'm not sure what's going to take place. So, don't get your hopes up. You guys have a great weekend.
Athletics.com.
Quite a scene out here. We are live today from the American Express PGA Tour event in La Quinta, California. The stunning 17th green of the Pete Dye Design Stadium course just over our shoulder here. A beautiful setting for one of the most storied tournaments on tour. Our host out here, Stephen Squeri, he is the chairman and CEO of Amex. Welcome. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being out here and escaping the cold to join us out here in the desert.
It's nice to get out of the ice box and have all of this, of course, behind us. Such rich history out here. What has this tournament meant for your company?
So look, this is the 65th year of this tournament. We took it over about 5 years ago, and I think what's really interesting about this tournament is it does so many different things. It brings professional golfers together. We have a tremendous field. We have almost 25 of the top 50 golfers in the world here today. Brings a number of business executives here. We like to call it our Davos in the desert. But we're doing things for the community as well. Monday we had the first tee out here. They got a behind-the-scenes tour for 2 hours. They got to see Justin Thomas tee off on 17. We had a women's leadership conference on Tuesday for local businesswomen. We did a community day, and we do so much for small businesses. We have a fan zone. We have many small businesses. And then we combine music. We have Keith Urban tonight. We got Train tomorrow night. And it gives our card members an opportunity to come in and have just a great golf experience and a great music experience.
You mentioned the field, Scheffler, Fowler, Finau, Thomas, Day, Cantlay. So you have some great players out here. And part of the profits of this tournament goes towards a charity, Impact for Golf. Tell us about it.
So, one of the things that the PGA Tour has always been a real charitable organization. And for us, giving back to the community has always been so important. And, this tournament over the years has donated over $65 million, and we'll do over another $1 million this year to the local charities. And the key point is all the money stays in the community. And it does make a difference.
Impact through golf, the name there. Why does sports work so well for Amex? It's U.S. Open tennis. It's a new relationship with F1, a reasonably new relationship, as you said, with this tournament.
Yeah, it's our customers love sports. Whether it's golf, whether it's tennis, millennials and Gen Zs love Formula One. So we're involved in Formula One, and we're also involved in music. And we try and get involved with sponsorships where our card members can have an experience like no other. So it's just not about putting our name on an event. It's about creating an experience with that property.
As a title sponsor of this event, obviously the future of the PGA Tour is essential to what you're doing. The negotiations are ongoing with the Strategic Sports Group. How closely are you watching it? What are you thinking about in terms of the business of the tour moving forward?
Yeah, well, I leave the business of the tour to the business of the tour. We're a partner of the tour. I think they're in really good hands. They're working with the players and they're working with, their board of governors. But for us, this event, it's not an elevated event. And we're never going to make it an elevated event because we want to have as big a field as possible. We get 156 golfers. We get 156 amateurs. And I think the tour is going to figure it all out. They always do. And we're just really happy with what we have in the product that we're putting out there right now.
Was there a moment when this first broke where you thought, I wonder where our investment in this entity is going to go?
No, because the PGA Tour is never going away. We never gave it a second thought. In fact, you know, we're committed to this tournament all the way through 2028, and we intend to be here and continue to invest and make it better.
You talked about giving your customers an elevated experience. Let's talk about your customers a little bit. Worth noting as well, your earnings are a week from today, so you're in a quiet period, and we'll obviously respect that. But broadly speaking, what do you see?
So, look, we saw through the third quarter, you know, we saw some good spending. In the holidays, we talked about good consumer spending all the way from